you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. RidUZone.com. RIDUZone.com.
You cannot retreat to your safe spaces. There are no therapy poodles allowed when facing the truth. And that's just how we like it. Straight, hard-hitting, conservatarian truth on the rocks. No chaser, no marches, no protest, only small, limited government, constitutional conversations, exclusively on MoJo 50. We get into foreign policy. We get into national politics. We get into constitutional, libertarian, conservative ideology. We put the brakes on the media spin by destroying the lies, dismantling the narratives, and bringing you the stone-cold hard truth. Every weekend on MoJo 50. Join me, Adrian Slade, for a raging hour-long discussion, deconstructing the headlines and delivering you the entire full story. Only on MoJo 50. Live free.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out NeverForgottenApparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
Ship has landed.
Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
Boy, I'm really feeling kind of bad for my buddy Ron this morning.
Ron Phillips.
Okay.
The producer in the other room.
No, I'm feeling bad for him. He's not doing well, and he told me he had to start the diet today, and you get to a point in your life, you put on some pounds now and then, they start adversely affecting you, and I'm just feeling kind of bad for you today.
Thank you.
He's put on a lot of pounds.
I put on a lot of pounds.
That's not good. Just wondering if maybe we can help you out.
Yeah, hand me candy in the morning. That'll work.
So as soon as you said that, you come in and Brad's like, "Here, everybody, here's candy."
It's my.
It's like you're killing him on the first mile here.
Yes,
what are you?
It's my plot to take over the world.
It went like this. Doc started the diet today. Wow, Ron, that sucks. Brad's like, "Here, remember this candy?" It was within 30 seconds of him saying that.
Well, see, the thing is, if you'd tried it, you would have realized it didn't taste as good as you remembered, and you would have spit it out.
What was it, the ice cube chocolates?
Yes.
Those are...
I put it in a pumpkin back here.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
Wasn't that good?
I don't want to know what you're
the
doing.
pumpkin full of candy.
Ron, I just want to try to help you out here because I know what it's like. I struggle with it all the time. I'm a foodie and whatever. Have you been looking at a lot of memes?
Maybe.
Because they contribute to weight loss or weight gain.
They do?
Yeah, according to researchers from Lowbrow University in... Is it Lowbrow?
Yeah, I think it's Loughborough. Which is really
lowbrow.
Lowbrow is. I like lowbrow even better though.
Well, when you hear the rest of this story, I may have gotten it right. Yeah, Lowbrow University has identified memes as a cause of teenage obesity. Now, you're not a teenager, Ron, but if it's hurting teenagers, why wouldn't memes be contributing to your weight gain just like teenagers? Why wouldn't it? I mean, you're like a teenager.
What happened to food?
In spirit, in humor.
In the eyes of the law.
In my mind.
So, researchers from Lowbrow University, they get together with lawmakers and they say, internet memes are contributing to the obesity rates in the United Kingdom.
Wouldn't be the
It's doing harm to teenagers on a significant scale, they said.
And it's just
they said they did for a significant scale there.
I see what you did there. Just that's what's making him fat. It's not the food.
No.
Oh,
not eating too much of it. None of that stuff. The lack of exercise, anything like that. Researchers said memes carry dangerous health-related messages.
Like they can kill you?
Yeah, they're dangerous. Like bad health-related messages that are dangerous, and they make light of unhealthy eating habits.
Okay. I just thought it was eating the calories that made you fat, but
No,
maybe I'm
see,
wrong.
and this is the reason researchers at Lowbrow University had to conduct this research. You know?
Yeah, that and they needed to spend the money.
They said a substantial number of individuals on Twitter and other social media accounts share health-related internet memes with body-positive and negative images. Many contain inappropriate material.
Inappropriate for children under 16?
Apparently, just based on the health consequences or potential health consequences of it. And they gave some examples.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to hear about some
I'd
of them?
love to hear about all of them.
One of them was a picture of an overweight child.
Uh-huh.
It shows a fat kid on there. And the caption, are you ready?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is where it really gets, and I'm going to let everybody pause because it's going to be a little shock to your system.
Right.
You got the picture. It's an overweight kid.
Fat kid.
And the caption says, free food? Count me in. I know that's jarring.
But,
I did, Brad.
Give me a second. Hold on. I need to sit down.
I saw you had to catch your breath.
Wait.
You were like, oh my gosh, that's
I am sitting
kids.
down.
That's children. There's that little bit of, whew.
Boy, is he fat.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Yes, I did. I found him, and he
Shocking, isn't
fat.
it?
Yes.
You might want to check this one out.
Okay.
Another one was a picture of a human being made out of food. So it was like a human-like body made out of pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs. The limbs
Did it say
were
eat
hot
me?
dogs. No. No, that's the Deathmobile. That's a whole different thing.
They missed a big opportunity.
So the limbs are made out of hot dogs in that, and the head is a potato, and it has a smiley face, and it's captioned, are you ready?
I'm still
Me.
sitting.
And then it was placed alongside of 3 people who are in shape. So it's comparing you.
Oh.
Your body's made out of this junk food, and the other
I
people
see.
are healthy.
I gotcha.
Do you realize how dangerous that is for children? Kids can see this stuff, Brad. Can you imagine a kid getting a hold of this meme?
And just, I mean, it makes you want to eat when you see it. That's all you want to do.
You know, as we continue to discuss guns in America and how to keep guns out of the hands of deranged people,
Right.
keeping them from getting onto school campuses and murdering children.
Right.
We got to consider memes as part of this. I'm now hoping that we can get some meme ban across the board, because children will get a hold of them.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And look at the damage, Brad.
You're right.
Do you know how much damage they can do in a school? I mean, it'll be slow and over time.
One meme can take down an entire class.
And who needs a bunch of memes? These kids don't need memes. For what?
No.
What do they need them for? Protection?
No.
What, for hunting? You're not hunting with memes.
Nope. You're right.
And if let's say you did want some sort of meme for whatever crazy reason you have in your head, do you need a lot of them?
No, I mean, if you do,
how many memes do you need a day?
Just one.
At most, right?
Yes. Otherwise, you're being wasteful.
The founding fathers, could they have ever imagined memes and the damage they would do?
No. This is one of those things they didn't foresee.
No, they didn't.
It's a good thing that
you ready for another one?
Lowbrow caught them. Yes, hit me.
Another one showed a piece of chocolate. Candy, Brad. Candy that kids could see.
But I like chocolate.
Right, I know. I mean, who doesn't, right? And it says, I just washed this chocolate bar with soap. #clean eating.
Wow.
Are you getting choked up?
That's
you seem really upset by this. I mean,
think
it's
I had hair in my throat.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. That's clean.
It's causing kids to overeat.
Clean eating.
Just, whew.
Yeah.
They went on to say internet memes are generally viewed as entertaining, but they also represent a body of cultural practice that does not account for the specific needs and rights of teenagers. I mean, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, right?
These researchers must really suck at a party. I mean, you would not want to be at a party with
Hey,
these
good
people.
news, folks. The Lowbrow University researchers are here. Let the party begin. Woo!
We're all
Lowbrow's
doing
here.
shots.
All right. Hey, wait. Before
Of
you do
water.
those shots, you know how dangerous those are.
Filtered water shots. That's all we can.
Oh, and let's see how it's filtered, because I'm not sure even that filter water is going to be good enough for you unless it's the right filtered water.
It's all going to be so much
Did you see any
fun
memes today? And that music, not sure how good that's going to be for you.
Till somebody gets the bubonic plague.
Lowbrow University is the kid in the class going, excuse me, teacher, you forgot the test. Weren't we supposed to have a test today?
Yeah.
You forgot to give us homework. We're walking out. You sure you don't want to yell some homework assignment as we're leaving for the day?
We're almost out the door.
Yeah, Lowbrow University, the kids that used to get the beat down on the playground after class for being so anti-kid.
Yes. Yeah, that's them. This is called having too much time on your hands with too much of a grant.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. They but let me tell you about the rest of this research they did. Maybe you'll change your mind.
All right.
They said unhealthy lifestyles cost the NHS billions every year.
Aha.
And said the dangers of inaccurate and inappropriate health messages contained in memes could be a contributing factor. Could be. Meaning, in order for us to determine if it is truly a contributing factor, we would likely need more research.
Yes.
And in order to conduct more research, we would likely need
another grant.
More money. Probably lots more money.
Yeah, a lot
Maybe
of
a
zeros.
lifetime of it.
A lot
Something
of
that'll
zeros.
keep me in money the rest of my life as a researcher from Lowbrow,
Yes.
you know.
That's nice work if you can get it.
They said they are worried that internet memes and their content produce a predominant sense of happiness regardless of the underlying tone and image. So you see the meme.
Sense of unhappiness.
No, a sense of happiness.
Oh, happiness.
So you see the meme and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, the fat kid.
Right.
And the clean eating with the hashtag. And
I washed the chocolate.
But you don't realize how much damage they're actually doing.
You know, I just realized, though, you could take I washed the chocolate and apply that in so many other ways. Just
said if internet memes carry political, corporate, and other agendas, true, but without priorities tailored to the needs of 13 to 16-year-olds, then they have the potential to do harm on a very large scale. Wow. So I think what they're saying is we need some sort of meme police to make sure kids don't get their hands on memes.
Didn't Cheap Trick do that song?
Meme police?
Yes.
I think they may have.
Yeah, they're coming to arrest me.
So I'm just wondering what that would be like. I mean, is this the responsibility of the social media platforms, of the internet in general?
I think it's everyone's responsibility because it does take a village. It takes an internet village.
It is. But I mean, you still got to have some official law enforcement to take care of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just to beat down the naysayers.
Hey, Paul, how you doing there, buddy? You good?
Yeah,
you just got
I'm
out of the police academy.
I did. Yep.
And you told me how driven you are to do good in the world, right? To take
Is that
down
a meme on your phone? You know I'm a meme cop now, right? I mean, you can't just be flashing that crap. I cannot believe
Have you seen what this does to children?
I cannot believe you'd have that on your phone. You're being reported and stripped.
They pointed out that memes have the potential to normalize undesirable behaviors.
Hold on, let me think. Wow.
Normalize undesirable behaviors and contain inappropriate materials or ridicule others by race and gender and ethnicity as well.
They make this sound like some sort of porn.
They make it sound like it's drugs or something, right?
It's like drugs wrapped in porn.
Mr. Clavadackle? Mr. Clavadackle, are you there?
Yes. Yeah.
I've got some news about your son, Jimmy.
Oh.
Your son, Jimmy Clavadackle.
Is he okay?
It's not good. It's not good, Mr. Clavadackle.
No. What's wrong with Jimmy? Tell me.
He's been involved in some things, some dangerous activities, Mr. Clavadackle. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you.
No, he's all right. He's alive, right?
Well,
tell me. Just tell me.
We found some things on him.
You found some
dangerous.
You found some things on him. What?
On his person.
He had. What did he have on him? Drugs? What was it?
Far worse than drugs. Very dangerous, Mr. Clavadackle.
He didn't have like porn or something.
No, far worse,
Oh,
Mr. Clavadackle. Think dangerous. Think dangerous. Something that would harm him and lots of people.
Narcotics and porn. What could possibly have been?
He had memes, Mr. Clavadackle.
He had. I'm sorry. He
like
had
little funny pictures with messages.
He had me.
Things we used to have on like posters, like hanging their baby with a cat hanging on a limb.
He had me.
Remember those people having their cubicles at work? He had memes. He had them in his locker. He would.
This is insane.
Mr. Clavadackle, can you hang on? It's far worse though. I've got something else to share.
There's more. There's more.
He was sharing those memes.
Oh, we didn't raise him to be this way.
And based on the amount of memes.
Oh no.
And the disturbing nature.
Oh no.
We think he might be a meme dealer.
Oh! Eunice! Jimmy's the meme dealer! I told you your brother-in-law was not a good influence on this kid.
Has he been out of the country recently?
I don't know what to do. We tried so hard to raise this boy right.
Last September, the European Parliament passed a new copyright law that is really a meme ban. And the Sweden's advertising watchdog group, because they have a state-run advertising.
I like
a
meme
truth.
bam.
Bam. Meme bam. They said that they have ruled officially, because over in Europe, even in England, they have an advertising police. So like here, if we advertise something that is false, there's a truth in advertising law.
Right.
And you could eventually sue, whatever. But there's really no organization that is every day going, that claim they made about that Vicodin,
or
whatever. They're not actively out there. I mean, there are councils in that, but most of it is done by the private individual. It says, hey, that turned out to be fake. It's more civil than criminal. Well, they actually have the criminal. They have a government agency that monitors this stuff. And in Sweden, they do as well. And they ruled that, that meme of the boyfriend looking back at the other girl?
Oh, yes. I know that's funny you should say. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, if you don't, so then there's a handful of them that are really popular and people put different messages on them. One of them is a kid walking with his girlfriend. So the right side of the picture, they're walking down the street. She is on the far right. He is just to her left, and you're looking at their backs and walking down the street. He is looking over his left shoulder at another girl who is walking towards the camera, and he's doing this. Woo, look at that. Wow, he's doing that kind of look. And his girlfriend that's on the right notices, and she's like, oh,
I can't believe you're looking at somebody else.
Like this. And then what happened, the girl who's walking towards the camera is just like, that's right, I got it going on. And people will caption the three of them. So, for example, you could do like this. Based on the fact that the immigrants, the illegal immigrants in America, have harmed black folk when it comes to getting jobs as the greatest individual group. That harms, it's killed black people getting jobs. It just has. That's what's caused their huge unemployment rate. Or one of the things. And so people put underneath the girlfriend, black folk. Okay? And under the boyfriend, Democrat Party. And under the hot chick walking toward the camera, illegals. There's an example, right? So while they're like, we've been walking with the black folk all these years and exploiting them, using them, and telling them we love them, whatever. Ooh, look at those illegals that we can use, whatever. And the black folk are, oh, how dare you? Because the black folk are starting to vote against the Democrats. They're not with them anyway. And that's going to look bad for them. So there's an example, right?
Yes. It's just a funny picture.
So that is, by the way, sexist now, according to the Sweden's advertising watchdog. Can't do that. Sexist.
Okay.
They may be missing the point of that meme.
I think again, these are more of the same people who you really just don't invite them to any parties.
Not, really buzzkills.
They really are.
Hey, welcome, buzzkills. You want to talk about memes? Sounds good.
Let me show you what our research found out.
Hey, meme buzzkills. Now, Brad, everything on the internet, I've realized, is a challenge.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Nope.
You can just say, oh my gosh, I had so much fun last night having pizza with friends. And people are like, pizza. I thought pizza, friends. You have friends, whatever. Everything's a challenge.
Yes.
Even benign little fun statements. Everything's a challenge.
Yes.
And when you have a jackhole group like this little community, it's even more of a challenge.
Yes, it is.
And I'm just shocked that so far we've been discussing these memes. And there have been some memes, but I wouldn't say a lot of memes.
Not yet.
I'm just saying. Okay, so let's see. 1024th taint an asterisk sleeve has the girlfriend, Swedish meme ban, the boyfriend, the internet, and the girl that he's looking at, disloyal man meme. So that's good.
That is very good. And Stephen English, it's good, but we just cannot repeat it. You saw his, right?
No.
It's Yoda.
Oh, I saw the Yoda thing.
Oh, yeah. You just have to click on, let's just say click on the Yoda. You'll get the full frontal.
It's a good one, Stephen English. Yes. I got you. I'm going to. Now, remember, there are multiple levels of. of content on this program. For example, there are some social media communiques that we will share on the air, that we will repeat.
Sure you will.
And there are some that we will retweet, but not share on the air because they're a little like, not sure we can. And then there are some that we can't retweet, but we will like. It's even less committal. And then there are there are others that are far worse that we cannot share, comment on, or even like. But secretly inside, we're like, oh, that's so much. Oh. But it doesn't mean we don't like them.
Protect.
You got another one?
Do you see that last one?
The fat cop?
No, the one with you in the shower.
Oh, oh, there it is.
When you get caught in the shower getting memed.
Yeah. There it is. Hang on, let me share that one. I knew that would come up, or I expected it. That's Black Suit Larky Farkin, where I was busted drinking and eating chips in the shower.
We ever figure out who took that picture?
No.
You turned, you saw a bright flash,
and that was it. They scoured out.
And they were gone.
Scampered out of there. So
that's what happened.
Well, get them in if you've got any, and if they're worthy, we will reshare it. Lots of good stuff coming on. It is All Hallows Eve, and coming up in the third hour, top of the third hour, I am going to prove to you,
oh boy,
that zombies are real.
All right, this third hour, I have to wait. Have to wait till the third hour.
It's only about an hour and a half away, but I'm going to prove to you that, yes, zombies are, in fact, real.
Very nice. I can't wait to.
You don't seem to be taking this very serious.
How do you know I don't already know that zombies are real? I mean, you're preaching to the choir over here.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I mean, the dead, he's out there walking among us, and I don't think you understand that. Brad, dead people are out there walking around.
I see you met my ex-wife.
I like that you said singular ex-wife, because then there's always plausible deniability.
Yes, thank you.
I meant the other one. When you get the lawyer,
the attorney keyed me in on that one.
How do you know I meant the other one?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It cost me thousands of dollars to learn
Figure
that
one little secret. So anyways, about an hour and a half from right now, we will prove to you that the undead are real.
Wow.
So that's kind of, it's powerful. I don't know if anybody else is going to prove that to you today.
I can't imagine that anybody has that on their agenda.
Ron, I got a suggestion for you, by the way.
Man, I was just thinking, give a guy a button and he'll play with it all day long.
I got a suggestion for you, Ron.
Yes,
trying to lose a couple pounds there, right?
Yeah.
You know it's about the calories, right?
Yep. You just got to shut your mouth and stop shoving food in. That's right.
The problem is your belly is going, I want food and calories. And that's the trouble there. So you got to replace it with better options that fill you up, going to be better healthy choices for you. One of the ways that I lost weight a couple of years ago was with MoJo Wild Rice. Of course, back in the day, we just called it Ministalgia or something else. But now it's MoJo Wild Rice.
People are too stupid to spell Ministalgia.
Like me. Yes. Those people are me. And then Matt Locke, yesterday on the air, I don't even know if he ever said MoJo Wild Rice. He's like, so try Ministalgia, MINNESTALIGA.com. And Buster's like, what are you doing? I think that was just a, listen, I'm smart. That was a Matt Locke trying to show the world he's smart moment, right?
At 400 decibels.
How do you spell Ministalgia?
I know, right? Just bust that out there. I was like, the audience doesn't need to feel stupid.
No.
They know they're stupid.
That's how
I know I'm stupid. I don't need you to remind me.
You do not need to rub it in.
That's the reason we just tell you it's simpler. It's MoJoWildRice.com. But honestly, it will, done right, done properly, is going to make you healthier and going to put you in shape and probably lead to weight loss if you do it right. Because you've got to remember, this is something that's going to fill you up. I mean, the rice is something that's going to be pretty substantial in your belly.
Yep.
And therefore, you're going to need less of it to give you that full feeling and therefore keep you from eating more calories.
Yeah.
And it's not your typical starch or rice. It is more of a seed than your traditional grain. It's more like the ancient grains, quinoa or something like that. So it's
You mean quinoa?
Yeah, and that too.
Okay,
Both of them.
all right,
It's both
yeah,
like
good.
quinoa and quinoa. It's right kind of in the middle of the two of them.
Love quinoa.
It's very solid.
Very good.
It's almost a complete protein, whereas how much protein's in most rices?
Yeah, right.
None, very little.
You have to put it with something else to make it.
They're like, here's a cow with it, and you got some protein. No, this is almost a complete protein by itself. It's naturally gluten-free and cholesterol-free and trace minerals and vitamins, and it tastes great. So it'll fill you up. You're going to be satiated because it tastes great, and you're probably not going to eat as many calories as you would with something else. MoJoWildRice.com.
And if you can fill yourself up with the good stuff, you don't necessarily want the bad stuff.
MoJoWildRice.com. Check it out today. That's MoJoWildRice.com. You're going to love it. Edible memories from the North Woods of Minnesota. And the company's actually Ministalgia at MINISTALGA.com. But you could just say MoJoWildRice.com.
Who was it over on MeWe? It was, and now the Jackhole Nation is out there.
Nice.
They had a meme on MeWe, and now I can't find it. Where did it go? It had to do with bacon and vodka and adult Halloween, which I just want to say I stand firmly behind you.
Last night, one of our associates here at MoJo50.com, who was not in yesterday but showed up for one of our meetings, goes, "Oh, by the way, did you really not preview Mike Opalka's audio that he sent you yesterday?" And I went, "No." She was like, "Are you kidding me?" She just gave me the, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed."
Was just disappointed.
She gave me the motherly, "I'm just disappointed in you."
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Ridgezone client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Ridgezone, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Ridgezone contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to ridgezone.com, RIDUZONE.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Ridgezone, RIDUZONE.com.
Doc Thompson, MoJo 50.
Hold the hanging on the wall. Sarah, get me Mount Pilot. Crank phone. Hold it. Stop it right there. There was a tragic event. We need to take some time to give it the proper amount of reverence and respect.
This is probably a good time, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Staggs. Thank you. It's an important topic we've got to discuss. Given the seriousness of the deadly incident in question, I knew there was one person and one person only I could go to discuss these dark days in which we live. I want to thank you, Mr. Staggs.
No problem.
Although this is a time of great sadness, I hope you'll understand that my grief and my sorrow has given way to frustration and outrage over such a horrible. I'm not talking about the synagogue in Pittsburgh. I'm talking about faux bomb inequality. Okay, don't forget to register now for our Black Friday drawing. We're going to give away a prize pack that will be valued at multiple thousands of dollars. There will be a pistola as part of it from Tar River Arms.
You could win $1 million.
If you were to buy yourself a lottery ticket, but that's not going to be part of our prize pack.
But
There will be, so you could somehow, but not from us.
Right.
There's a Yellow Jacket battery backup and stun gun cell phone case, which is really cool.
Hold on. Say that one more time, because that sounds almost
It's a
too
cell
good to be
phone
true.
case that is a battery backup and a stun gun. So people are like, I'm going to mug you, and all you got your cell phone. Bzzz!
Does it make biscuits?
No, but
Then I'm not interested, okay?
the upgraded model may. If you download the additional software, I think it does.
It's I tell you what, you think about it, Americans are amazing people. I'm assuming an American invented it. Because
Okay.
you start with a cell phone case. That's not enough. Let's make it a battery. But wait.
There's more.
There's more.
Now it'll zap people.
Ron Popeil's pocket taser.
And in Julian's carrots.
Uh-huh. It's
Don't
a blender.
answer. How much would you expect to pay for this?
But
wrong.
wait. There's more.
Plus, we'll knock off one of those $45, $18 payments. Plus, a Minuteman watch. Minuteman watch is individually handmade by Mr. Man. And he said that they have
I
done
call him Minute.
Well, you know him
it
better
well.
than I do. MinutemanWatches.com, MinutemanWatches.com. You can check it out for yourself. He said just since they have decided to be a part of our Black Friday giveaway, they've already sold several watches.
Good. That's excellent.
So sign
They're
up
great
today.
watches.
All you have to do is sign up and register at MoJo50.com. That's MoJo50.com. And you'll be in the drawing. We'll make that announcement on Black Friday when we do our Black Friday Marathon, which is coming up on Black Friday.
Black Friday, yes.
Which is?
Day after Thanksgiving.
Which is?
Is that the 23rd?
23rd of November, exactly. Yes. And don't forget, if you're also in the need of marketing, you'd like to have people know about your products and services so you can do better from a business sense, why? By all means, please contact us via mojo50.com, and we will be happy to tell you about advertising. But in the meantime, we'll put you on Black Friday, absolutely free, as a Building America segment as well. Hey, joining us now is Phil Kirpin. How are you, Phil?
I'm doing great. How are you, Doc?
Doing well. Phil is president of American Commitment. What is American Commitment?
We're a national free market advocacy group. We work really on all the fiscal, economic, and regulatory issues. But what we do, it's different from some of the other groups in town, is we don't do long white papers. Everything is short, direct, and to the point, 300-word email, 600-word column, 1-minute video. We try to get people the facts and the information on what's really on the margin in Washington on the economic issues and help them be more active, engaged citizens. So we've got lots of action items and lots of materials on our website at americancommitment.org.
Well, Phil, and I wanted to have you on the air today for a couple of reasons. First of all is because you are free market advocates, and we are in election season. So we got just, what is it, a week from 2 days ago, yesterday. Week from yesterday is the election. And that should be always a cornerstone of why we vote. But the other thing is moving forward on this new platform that we've launched, we want to make an even greater commitment to free markets and capitalism because, Phil, I'm really tired of defending capitalism. Doesn't need defending. People just need reminded about it. And I don't think younger people really understand the importance.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. I think that a lot of the ideas that we took for granted for a long time because we thought everyone knew them, we've got a couple of generations of people who don't because the schools didn't teach them. And there's been a real resurgence, unfortunately, in a lot of really bad economic ideas. And there are a lot of people who don't know why planned economies don't work, who don't know why you need to have a functioning market system to allocate resources, and that's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah, it's funny. You're right. We took it for granted. We're like, of course you know these things, and they're like, no, socialism. We're like,
yeah, no,
what?
you're right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, we've got. Some of the polling is unbelievable. The percentage of people who now prefer socialism to capitalism, and we need to do a much better job.
Well, the way they've marketed, if you're that far removed from true threats to America, like World War II era threats. Right. We've had war since then. We're still technically at war, but it's not the same. And then removed from some of these countries that did not believe in capitalism or freedom, of course, you're going to start taking it for granted. Generation after generation, it just gets kind of dumbed down a little.
Stunning. Absolutely. And socialism does sound good.
Sounds
free
great.
Stuff. Free. I don't have to pay for it.
Well, Brad, everybody has the same. Why? Come on.
Right.
And everybody, it's wonderful too.
Well, but the interesting thing is, you had like Bernie Sanders out there, his whole campaign saying, I'm a socialism, socialism's great, we should be like Norway. And then you had like Norway putting out statements saying, hey, we're a market economy, we're not socialist. Have this guy stop saying that about us.
Well, things are bad when Norway's getting out there. Wait.
So the trick is to explain it to them and teach them about these things. And if we could, those people, Steve or Phil, that are educated, that understand, could spend a moment, probably only a minute or two, with each millennial, Gen Zer out there, and you say, okay, here's the truth, they would get it and it would be over. I've done it. I've explained it to teens in my family where I'm like, okay, and they're like, oh, well, I get it now. Yeah, but we're never going to be able to get to that.
We've got a real object lesson in Venezuela that we can point to in real time as sort of the latest collapse of a command economy. And the obviously we don't have the Soviet Union anymore. China is become a very strange animal where they're still an authoritarian country, but they've moved kind of in a more market-oriented direction in some ways, though not always. So they're less of a clear-cut case. But we still have a basket case economy in Cuba, and of course, there are so many historic examples of command economies failing, and even in the Soviet Union, they started bringing in some market principles relatively early on because there was, Lenin basically realized the economy couldn't work at all unless they brought back at least some small-scale capitalism, and he did that with his new economic plan. And so, I think that there are a lot of examples we can point to, we can show, but really what's happening in Venezuela right now is a remarkable real-time object lesson in how socialism degrades pretty quickly. And I don't know how we have this weird situation where we have this country basically in total collapse, and then you got a bunch of liberals who told us how much they loved Hugo Chavez in many cases.
He's great.
Who continue to advocate for these policies in the U.S.
So what about the Scandinavian countries? Now, I know that's broad because brush because there's so many of them, but they're always cited, different combinations, different standard. Look at how great it is. See, they are democratic socialists, Phil, and look how great they do, right? They always cite those.
Well, they have large welfare states and relatively high taxation, but they also have functioning market economies. The resources are allocated there based on market transactions. They do not have command economies, and they kind of take offense at the suggestion that they do. And by the way, in many ways, some of these countries have really moved in a more conservative direction over the years. I mean, Sweden repealed their inheritance tax. We haven't been able to get that done in the United States.
Wow.
So I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding about these countries, but in particular, I would point out those countries all became very, very wealthy before they adopted high taxation and a welfare state. That was not the formula for their wealth. That was a byproduct. After they became very wealthy as capitalist countries, they were able to adopt a larger, more burdensome government, and they were wealthy enough for that not to prevent them from being successful kind of as countries, but it also, no question, has slowed their economic growth since they've adopted those policies. And so, I think there's a pretty big trade-off there. You can have a larger government, a larger welfare state with higher taxation, but you're going to have slower economic growth as a consequence of that. And that's I think a trade-off that's not worth it. But even if you do prefer that, even if you do kind of want higher taxation, a more generous welfare state, there's a big difference between that and a planned economy. And they don't have a planned economy in those countries.
Yeah, I know, like you said. So first of all, some of those governments had become wealthy prior to these onerous controls over their economy. Number two, like you said, when it is slowed or since it's slowed, some of them have been faced with higher unemployment rates, companies that have left those areas. So it has had its downside as well. And then some of them are like, well, look, there's so much that are given to people, yet the taxation rate is 75% in some of those.
Yeah, although, a lot of these countries have cut their taxes, which I think tells you something interesting also.
Obviously not working for them. Let's scale that back a little bit. So one of the things I like that you're doing at AmericanCommitment.org is that you are focusing short form, because in today's world, even adults don't have time to read long form, whatever. So if you can make a point or two very quickly, it's going to be pretty effective for you. I think that's going to help with younger generations.
Yeah, we really try to get right to the point on whatever issue it is, whatever we think is happening, where people can make a difference. So, for instance, we just did a big public comment campaign on the revision of fuel economy rules. This is maybe the biggest deregulatory effort of the Trump administration yet. They dialed back Obama's 54.5 mile per gallon standard to about 42. That's a big deal, because if you raise it so high that the price of new cars goes through the ceiling, you price a lot of people out of the new car market completely. They keep driving old cars, which are less safe and less fuel efficient. So it becomes totally self-defeating. And so that's a really important one. That actually just closed the public comment period for that. But we try to stay on top of, kind of what's happening in terms of regulation, what's happening in legislation, and just make it really easy for people to weigh in.
Well, moving forward, if you've got ideas and ways that we can positively or in a proactive way, tell the positive things about capitalism and free markets, we'll absolutely help you out any way we can. We'd like to partner on some of that stuff because I think that's the key. I'm tired of when something comes out and the news media, the leftist media comes out and goes, capitalism, look at it. And you're like, no, that's not the whole story. And you're constantly back on your heels. I don't want that. I don't want a part of that now. I want to tell people the massive good that freedom and free markets have brought about. So if you've got ideas, we welcome them, Phil.
Absolutely, and there's been no greater force for good lifting people out of poverty than free market capitalism in the history of the world. The entire world was basically in abject, severe poverty until capitalism really was invented, and private property rights and free exchange, and it's very dangerous to forget that. And so I appreciate everything you've been saying. Absolutely.
AmericanCommitment.org, and I'll tweet out a link to that so people can find it. And I'm assuming donations would help too. Does that help you out?
Always helpful. There's a donate button on there. We do rely on contributions.
All right, tweeting that out, and then I'll post it on the other social media platforms as well. Phil, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate you joining us today.
All right, have a good one.
I like that they're doing everything in bite-sized pieces because people's attention spans suck.
It's also young, though, too. That's the other key.
Yeah.
You make a we're talking about memes. The reason memes are popular is you get instant information.
Yeah.
Boom. It's a glance, it's a go, it's a mini billboard.
It's the infographic, and you know who used to do it really well, and I kind of started the whole thing, was USA Today.
Oh, you're right. That front side newspaper down in the corner there.
They used to have the little
pie chart or a little graph or something.
And you could look at it and you could understand the concept and go, okay, now I get it. Of course, they've gone
crazy leftists and whatever, and that's fine or whatever.
Happens,
but yeah, I think we could do a lot of good, and that's one of the things that we want to focus on with more meme type stuff in the future. Anyway, all right, get some communiques. It's at Doc Thompson Show, at Real Brad Staggs, at MoJo 50 Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and of course MeWe. Did I see that you put the MeWe pages up for MoJo?
Yes, the MeWe page is up on for MoJo on at MeWe.com, and we tweeted out a link to it last night.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I am still learning MeWe. Can the average person out there that has a MeWe account go to our MeWe page? They don't need a pages themselves, right?
I don't think they need a page.
So they would be able to post on what is the equivalent of our timeline with MeWe pages, right? Our MeWe page.
I believe so.
Okay. If that's the case, and we just got the pages version of that up last night, then we will share your communiques on the page from the pages as well.
Yes. Yes, that is true. And the MoJo 50 group chat there too. That's where
we'll keep doing that as well.
Yes.
So put that up.
Yeah,
there.
we're still remember Facebook in the beginning wasn't easy to navigate either.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's us learning.
Yes.
Primarily, it's us learning what it looks like. Now when you log on to social media, the ones that you use regularly, you know exactly what you're looking at. Boom, you go right to this, you go that. MeWe is like, okay, all of the posts, how you post, what it looks like is different. You got to figure it out each time.
Yes.
It's like a puzzle every day until you get used to it, and you're like, okay, I got it. I know what's going on there. I know the etiquette then on top of that. So, anyways, we'll continue to push that because, man, that Gab thing the other day, where even GoDaddy could take Gab down. GoDaddy is a domain registrar.
Amazing.
Right? They just register.
Yeah. It's just a domain registration. That's all they are.
If they can do that, folks, none of us are safe. So imagine you have a business that is selling pixie dust. Let's say you are in Peoria, Illinois, selling pixie dust. Brad's Pixie Dust in Peoria, Illinois.
Yep.
You got to know, how's that pixie dust business doing?
Oh, man. We're selling pixie dust.
A lot of online sales.
Oh, big time.
Okay. And you don't have a storefront, right?
No.
Just the online.
Yeah,
okay, so we're just going to shut that down.
Wait.
How are your sales? How are your sales now that we've shut that down?
No one's buying any pixie dust anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
This is not good.
So it's one thing to say, I'm not going to be able to, or Brad's not going to be able to promote his pixie dust business on Facebook and social media that's been successful. That would be bad enough because he's a conservative libertarian. They take that down. But when they take away the platform completely, and all they have to do, no, we're not for censorship. No, we just have different values. Okay, and I support that. Great.
Yeah.
But when they are the only businesses out there, or the few businesses out there, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, big time difficult.
Imagine you needed to build a physical structure to sell your pixie dust. Right. Pre-internet, back in the day. And you go, okay, great. I'm going to build it right here.
Yep.
Great. Hey, Brad's Brick Company.
Yep.
Hey.
Sell bricks. You need a brick? I got a brick.
Yeah, I need to build this building, and I need bricks, so you do it.
Got you covered.
And I know you hate conservatives, and I'm a conservative.
I really do. You people.
And you've said you're not going to sell bricks to me.
Yeah, I forgot
and you're
that.
the only person that sells bricks.
Yeah, go buy some straw.
So, yeah, but then when the wolf comes, it won't be straw.
That's not my problem.
And by the way, the straw seller, too, is liberal.
Yeah, well.
So I can't even have that.
Yeah, so you're screwed.
That's essentially what you've said.
Yeah.
It's gone far beyond just social media shadow banning and banning people. They will be able to shut us down completely.
Yeah.
And there is, what percentages of businesses in America today rely exclusively or heavily on internet?
That's a good question. A lot of them. A lot of businesses.
I would be willing to bet even those brick and mortar stores that still primarily brick and mortar, like maybe a Walmart or something.
Yeah.
I'll bet probably 50% of their business is directly or indirectly affected by the internet.
Oh, huge. Yeah, a big chunk.
Or indirectly. So, for example, number one, directly affected. Walmart sells a bunch of stuff online. Walmart.com, they have it. Great. Okay, that's directly. Directly, they advertise online. Okay.
Yeah.
Indirectly, you do research and things about products, and it's referred to in coupons online, and you find out about it. And then once or twice removed from that, social media, for example. It's not direct, but Walmart has a presence, I'm assuming. So if that were to go away, even the traditional brick and mortar companies or companies that have very little to do with the internet are going to be impacted immediately.
Yeah.
So if you've got GoDaddy and others that are controlling this, it's over, folks. If you're a conservative libertarian, this is the Rubicon. GoDaddy and whoever those other ones were, I just remembered GoDaddy. Oh, PayPal. PayPal also said they're not going to do.
Yep, that shut down Gab.
Said Gab, because you did not stop the white supremacist, the crazy Nazi who went into the Pittsburgh synagogue and murdered people during a bris, because you allowed him to continue to post his ideas, not endorsing them,
right,
but did not stop him, you are now culpable. We don't want to do business with you. It's over. Your business is done. You have no other options.
Yeah.
That's the Rubicon. That's not social media shadow banning.
It's really scary how quickly it can happen, too. Man, you pissed the wrong person off. And
right. We will go away tomorrow if those companies do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we rely on this
Gab
sort of thing.
has at least built up some monies over the years and a greater following. I'm assuming they had probably a couple million people or something that used the platform, and investors probably, I'm just spitballing, to build a social media platform is probably tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Easily.
Just the tech alone, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have more investors and, a bigger skin in the, or more skin in the game. They're going to have more connections than we do. We're brand new. We will go away. I don't know if there's any recovering for us. How do we do that?
And it's once you disappear for even just for a little while,
it's over.
Yes. And that's what Gab is facing. I mean, they've still got their website has a splash page, which basically is telling you what they're doing. But in the new era, the information age, if you are off any platform for
any
a
length
few
of time,
days,
you're done.
People forget about you.
So imagine they were those conservative libertarians, and I have a couple of examples on how that just happened over the last couple of days with us. If they were to target us and shut us down, and they go, you know what, we've done our due diligence, and we know that Doc Thompson works at MoJo 50, and we already shut MoJo 50 down because we've gotten rid of it on all social media. We GoDaddy, they've pulled out because, you make with some of the yuck satirical jokes about race and stuff. It's over, right? We shut them down. But we know when we shut down Doc Thompson's pages because he's one of those people. We know that Brad Staggs was associated, and that Ron guy was associated with it as well. So we got to shut him down. All right, great. How do we even tell people what happened?
That's just it. You've got
folks. We can't even tell you what happened. We can't even say, we're launching it. Where would we tell you about that?
Yeah.
Even if we could launch a new site, how would you know? You wouldn't. It's done. It's over. Unless somebody like our friends, Dan Bongino or somebody else, were gracious enough to say, we're going to tell your story, and we have a big following, and you happen to also follow some of those people, it's done. And then what they would do is go, sorry, Dan Bongino.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done.
He's risking having himself erased. There's a New York Times article, which I can't read because I've reached my limit of free ones, and I'm not going to pay them anything. And the headline, on Gab, an extremist-friendly site, Pittsburgh shooting suspect aired his hatred in full.
Do you see the marketing there, though? An extremist friendly. They're painting them that.
Yeah.
You know what we used to call that? Free speech. I don't have to. I'm not making a ruling. Just because I own the platform doesn't mean I'm making a judgment call on your content. To be honest with you, I don't want to have to take that responsibility for a couple of reasons. I'm lazy. Number two, I'm cheap. So either I have to do it. Let me go through and monitor everything. I don't have the time for that. Hire people to do it. I'm too cheap. I don't want to do that or whatever. And also because I believe in free speech. Are you ready for this? You ready for this crazy notion?
Oh, boy.
I believe that you, the individual, is capable of deciding what they like and what they do not like.
Whoa. You're an extremist.
What content they want to consume and what content they do not.
Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party, sir?
Thank you.
That's where we are.
So, it's very scary. I got to tell you what happened. I have a friend.
You?
I have a friend.
First of all,
do you have a friend? I don't know. What are you saying? I have a friend. Buddy of mine has been creating a new platform as well. And we were going to partner up with him and this new social media platform, so to speak, in a couple of different ways. So, we've done the partnership with MeWe, and we had already started reaching out to Gab as well to see if we can get them involved in this much bigger idea we have.
Right.
And then they get shut down. Well, this buddy of mine comes to me couple of months ago, and he goes, I've got this great idea for kind of a social media platform. He goes, I can put this together, unlike other social media platforms, with very little money by comparison, and we can do it in months for the first step. And I said, amazing. And he was all set to roll this thing out. He's been on other platforms, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is yet because it needs to not be discussed for a while. Let me explain.
Okay.
He launched it about a week ago. And he was out in the media discussing this. It's a big deal. There'll be a place for conservatives to get aggregated content. So as social media shadow bans you or bans you outright, where you're like, hey, how come I didn't get all that conservative content that Doc and Brad and other people put out there because it was limited? Right. You log on Facebook. I didn't see the stuff Brad and Doc were talking about. His would aggregate all that stuff via an app.
That'll be cool.
Oh, it's really pretty slick, right? Very simple and wonderful idea. And it's just one piece of the puzzle in this greater thing we're putting together. So I said, hey, that's a great idea, and we'll work with you on some level as well. He calls me a couple of days after they launch and says, you're not going to believe what happened. The Apple store where you buy apps, one of the few places where you download them, they've denied us.
Really?
And I go, what are you talking about? It's just an app aggregator. And he goes, they've denied us not once, not twice, but 6 times.
Holy cannolis.
3 or 4 of those 6 times, they mentioned some sort of metadata flaw. Now, metadata is really just your information.
Your metadata.
It sounds right.
It's all you've got to comb that. So you got to get your
metadata is like on our website where I tell you the schedule of who's on when. It's the information.
It's encoded information that
Right.
is along with what you can see or hear. It's the stuff that's hidden inside it. It's the O's and the ones that are
Right.
Yeah.
And they said there are metadata flaws. 3 times they turned him down for that. He went back and fixed it each time. Now, he's had app developers, world-class, great app developers. So finally he goes back to him and goes, okay, now. And they're like, metadata, damn it.
Yeah.
Metadata's fine. That's not the problem. For the 4th, 5th, and 6th time he turned them down, they turned him down,
Right.
it was, this app really isn't needed.
And that's where Apple gets you.
I told Ron, and Ron's like, what the hell is that?
Apple, that's what
It's not.
You have to go in and prove that you're different and you're this and you're that. And it's a really.
They said what you're doing is really just a website. That's all you could do, which it's not.
Right.
When you hear his full concept, and I'm not doing it justice, and I can't share everything, it's not. It actually does make sense what he's doing. And where it stands, they have turned him down. He repitched it and explained it, and he was denied an additional 3 times. So what recourse does he have? They're the gatekeepers of this stuff.
Yeah.
So he says to me, I have an idea. He goes, I am going to, and this is the reason I can't fully tell you everything. I have to kind of keep it. He said, I am going to change the logo, rewrite up the description, have a friend who they don't know, have never heard of,
right,
submit this as an app that aggregates progressive content.
It's the South Park method.
To see if he's turned down again.
Very nice.
Which I think 6 times and you're telling this stuff when you happen to be conservative, that's always suspect. But let's see what they do. And if they turn him down again, I would still say it's wrong that they're the gatekeepers on content like this, even it's progressive. And by the way, progressives, I don't want to monitor your crap either, and I don't want Apple stopping you.
Right.
I will fight just as hard for you as well. Put it out there. They shouldn't be the gatekeepers of this stuff. But we'll see. And if they do approve it, it's over. And then he goes big with this to the media. This could blow up. This could be one of those shots heard around the world.
It could be if they don't shut him down again once they get wind of it.
Well, and that's it. So we've got to stand together. By the way, we humbly ask you help us as we fight these people to build this format and partner with people like MeWe and Gab and my friend and others to build something down the road that would stand independent of all these people. We've shared some of those ideas with you. If you would, please donate. We've got a crowd-funded page up, and I think it's posted at MoJo50.com.
Yep,
You'll see a red banner.
Banner right there.
Donate whatever you can, please, and help us grow. We really appreciate it.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump heads Fort Myers, Florida tonight, another Republican campaign rally. 6 days to go till the midterm elections. Mr. Trump travels to West Virginia on Friday, then it's on to Pensacola, Florida, Saturday. The president's expected to make at least 10 campaign stops in the run-up to Election Day. Early voter turnout said to be running high in some key states. The president wants to end birthright citizenship.
The constitutional right to citizenship for babies of non-citizens and unauthorized immigrants born in the U.S. Mr. Trump telling Axios on HBO that he's been told he can do it through an executive order. White House lawyers are said to be reviewing the proposal. The president has focused on immigration policies as a caravan of migrants makes its way from Central America toward the southern U.S. border. The president has announced he'll dispatch additional troops to the border and set up tent cities for asylum seekers.
Correspondent Wally Hines, Mark Krikorian with the Center for Immigration Studies, says that President Trump's proposal is neither new nor novel.
Harry Reid, the Democrat Senator Harry Reid, in 1993 introduced a bill to end birthright citizenship for children born to illegals. 1993, and it was a Democrat.
3 of the 11 victims of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre have now been laid to rest. Their funerals held yesterday, the first in a week-long series of funerals for victims of what's described as the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Pakistan's top court has acquitted a Christian woman who was sentenced to death on blasphemy charges in 2010. Asia Bibi was held at an undisclosed location for security reasons, and she's now expected to leave the country. Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing higher. Dow futures up 80 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 58. S&P futures 12 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for, you know, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. As election time again approaches, America's many problems are highlighted by numerous candidates who then offer their own various and diverse solutions to those problems. However, for the Founding Fathers, much more than just good policies were needed to secure America's prosperity. As Patrick Henry succinctly declared, righteousness alone can exalt America as a nation. Whoever thou art, remember this, and in thy sphere practice virtue thyself, and encourage it in others. The great pillars of all government and of social life are virtue, morality, and religion. This is the armor, my friend, and this alone that renders us invincible. As you participate in this year's elections, remember that righteousness is the key. Therefore, be careful to vote for leaders who will promote righteousness at every level of government.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
The mothership has landed.
Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs on MoJo 50. Still just figuring this whole thing out.
Takes time. Quality takes time.
Don't forget our election night coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time next Tuesday evening here on MoJo 50. Represented in studio and holding down the fort with coverage for you. One, Bradley J. Staggs. Matthew J. Locke.
Wait, I have to be here?
Yeah, you're working it. Crap. Doc J. Thompson. Ron J.
Phillips.
And also Patrick J. Mosier.
Where the J stands for Food Biz Pro.
That's right. So that'll be Tuesday night for you. Don't forget to join us. This is going to be fun. Well, we'll get things done. We'll get it done.
Oh, yeah.
It may be a little low budget, but damn, it's going to be fun. And
it'll be no budget is what it'll be.
Yes,
we
that's
have
right.
No budget.
That's right. I've noticed some changes in the studio here, and we've had some people comment on them.
Yeah, we have a friend hanging around on the wall.
Right. You'll notice it's a kind of a mannequin head.
She is not a mannequin. She.
Mannequin?
She's yes.
Sex doll?
She just doesn't talk much.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Perfect. Where's the rest of her?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the rest of her is.
I said to Brad the other day, we need a place to display the kitty cat hat because that's kind of like our dunce cap in here when people really reach a significant level of stupidity. It's got to be profound, overt.
Yes.
You got to wear that for a while, or when you lose a bet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need a way and a mannequin to put it on. And he goes, I got a mannequin, and I was great. And he only brought in the head. Where's the rest of it?
I wasn't using the head. Suspicious Backyard Packages tweeted, leftists don't seem to understand that allowing people to speak freely makes it easier to identify the people that you don't want to associate with.
I know, right? By the way, one of the reasons we picked the name MoJo 50 is because MoJo.com was taken.
Yes.
And the reason we headed down the MoJo road was because it was it doesn't say red or right or conservatarian or any of this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, and we don't hide who we are. But right off in today's world, if you are conservative, right news, people, you lose easily 50% of the people.
Conservative is a 4-letter word.
Even amongst conservatives, when I see that sometimes, I think it's going to be that really dumbed down talking points conservatives like you see from, I'd be willing to say 50, 60% right off the top of stuff you see on social media and websites that are conservative is like the, really dumb talking points. Yes, I know that. There's nothing new, nothing original, no good ideas or presentation, nothing entertaining. So even it's even a trigger for me. So we said we need something that's just kind of fun, that, Moxie and MoJo, something you could have some fun with down the road, and didn't automatically say what we are.
Right.
I had a lady that was going to do some content or provide some content on Spoonie, our non-political food channel.
Yes.
That we just launched the live shows on Monday.
Everybody eats.
And Patrick, we've been borrowing the MoJo 50 studio because we're building the other one. Brad's lazy. I haven't gotten the Spoonie one up yet. And the MoJo logo has been represented. He'd been talking with the woman to provide content, and she is more liberal. Not completely, but more. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can, help you. He's like, what are you talking about? You said you were going to do this. Yeah, I just don't know what this MoJo thing is, and I don't know if I can be a part of that. He goes, that's not what this is. It's a completely separate channel, whatever. I know, but it's just, he had to go through this whole thing. That's how triggering it is for people in today's world. So we needed something that would be kind of fun and not automatically scream these things.
Yeah.
And
I for one, I identify as a libertarian. More than as a conservative, I think, because it is about. I don't care what
I don't care
what you stick.
I don't have time.
I'm not going to pay for it.
I've said it this way: if you look at my personal values and how I am in life, I'm really boring and conservative. Seriously, I don't smoke pot. I don't have sex with men anymore. I go to church regularly. Right. I mean, I do these things, and pretty conservative. I don't smoke. I'm just. I don't smoke pot. It just
Only
really
when you're on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as the world ought to operate, I don't care.
Nope.
Leave me alone.
Do what you want to do.
And by the way, some of the things that you may judge me on or not like, okay, great. I will leave you alone as well. Right? It's not messing with me. One of the companies that proudly supports that attitude as well, and that's Patriot Mobile. They support conservatives and libertarians, and those people out there that believe in those simple principles of freedom and free market. That's who they are. That's their founding values, is because they were fighting against some progressive and liberal startup mobile companies who were funneling money into liberal and progressive causes. And they said, we need something to just balance the scales, and maybe we can make a couple of bucks as well. They do a great job, incredible nationwide coverage. Sign up today. Please support our advertisers. PatriotMobile.com/doc or 800-A-PATRIOT. Only takes a couple of minutes to sign up or switch over. And again, amazing nationwide coverage, excellent customer service. You're probably going to save money because they have great prices and deals and packages. PatriotMobile.com/doc. It's PatriotMobile.com/doc. Please sign up for an account today.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
And your headlines for Halloween 2018, brought to you by Patriot Mobile. It's one small way you can keep the progressive agenda from progressing, and you'll save money at the same time.
I really delayed you here getting to the headlines.
That's all right. I'm used to it. And actually, the less I have to work, the more per hour I make.
Wait a minute. What the hell did I do? I'm doing this wrong.
Yep, I'm fine with it. Migrant caravan update. The Border Patrol has now warned Texas landowners about the possibility of armed civilians in the area due to the caravan. Yeah, remember, you got to worry about the...
You mean American?
Yes. The Associated Press reported that these civilians say they intend to support the National Guard and the Border Patrol to prevent the illegal migrants from crossing into the U.S. So now we don't only have to worry about the migrant caravan coming across, but now there's an armed horde.
Wait a minute.
Of people that are heading toward the border.
So you got some broad out there that's selling her body with a pistol. How does that affect me? Right? Oh, hoard.
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 Not whore.
Okay, thank
Hoard.
you. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate the update. I was a little confused there.
Much
So who warned them? What group? It was Texas.
It's the Associated Press put out the report originally that the Border Patrol.
Border Patrol.
Yes, that some see this as a negative, arguing that armed civilians' presence would add even more tension should there be a confrontation. Well, he's just gearing up to be like Saturday Night Fight on Tuesday night.
So they didn't issue a warning that, hey, 8,000 people may be marching across your property here, invading the U.S., bringing with it all of the bad that they are.
No.
They didn't warn that. It's like, some American citizens may stand up to them.
Yes.
And, know, that when they stand up to them, they may have guns.
Yeah.
Please.
Guns kill people, Doc. Guns jump off the table all the time and kill people.
Remember, you can't spell AP without crap. Did I get that backwards? Remember, you can't spell crap without AP.
Speaking of, the FBI has warned potential targets that the suspicious packages may still be in the mail. In other words, you've not seen the end of this one.
They arrested the guy last week.
It's the Postal Service. He could have mailed these 6 months ago and they still haven't arrived. I mean, did he use priority mail? I don't think so. Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Law enforcement officials aren't sure whether they've discovered the last of the pipe bombs mailed to prominent Democrats and other opponents of President Donald J. Trump. They've said the packages were staggered and more could be somewhere in the U.S. mail system. How about that? They could be somewhere in the U.S. mail system. We have no idea where, but they could be out there.
Do you know that did you know that they photograph the front and back of every envelope and package you mail?
They do?
They take a picture now of every piece of mail.
That's got to be a big shoebox they keep those in.
Right, exactly. Here's one. Do you remember this one? Do you remember the letter that John Smith wrote to Carla? This is a great one. This was back in 2012. Do you remember this? This red envelope?
You know you can store those
penmanship.
digitally.
What's that?
What? You don't have to necessarily keep the actual physical picture now. You can store these digitally on a hard drive.
We have 45 million square foot of space that we've been storing these in.
There's your government.
We were going to store them up there next to those seeds in Iceland below the permafrost level.
The leaky seeds. Didn't they leak in there on those?
Yeah, it did. They leaked on them, whatever.
They're sprouted.
Remember this one? This was great. Touching. I remember this Mother's Day card that Phil sent to his mom. Do you remember that was a great one? We don't know what's inside because it's just the front.
Yeah,
but
just
he has
a picture.
He doesn't have great penmanship,
He
but
really
you can tell he
does.
really cares about his mom.
Yes, he does.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Remember this one? Remember this was the bill? This is the bill Steve got from the phone company? Remember that?
I remember that one and that whole day. That was such a good day. Pictures of the front and back. Wow. But they can't find your package. They got a picture of it, but
I got to tell you,
don't know where it is.
It's a problem when you can't find your package. It really is.
Yes.
I don't want to bring up
it is.
Ron's weight gain again, but
right?
There's time that's, sometimes a little difficult to find your package.
With both hands and a flashlight. Just so you know, Justice Kavanaugh, and it's Justice Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh or Sally Ann Kavanaugh?
Justice Brett Kavanaugh has declined the more than $600,000 raised in that GoFundMe campaign.
What's he going to do with it?
Citing judicial ethics concerns.
Right.
Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, some people hate hearing that, declined the more than $600,000 that was donated to aid his family during the firestorm. His decision was announced yesterday. John Hawkins is a veteran conservative blogger, one of those, who runs the Kavanaugh-inspired men's website. He says that they cited basically ethics concerns.
He can't take that.
He did not authorize the use of his name to raise the funds in connection with the GoFundMe campaign. He was not able to do so for judicial ethics reasons. Doesn't say what they're going to do with it.
So here's what's interesting about this.
I know what they're going to do. They're going to give it to a Catholic charity that was where he used to coach basketball.
The Catholics
is that confirmed? That's what they're likely going to do?
Yeah, John Hawkins put out a post yesterday.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I found that interesting but Kavanaugh wouldn't have been able to even direct what charity because, again, that puts him on the hook.
He couldn't take it or direct it.
Right. It's like, for lack of a better word, a liability then,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing we're giving it to the Catholics. They are in need of money.
Absolutely.
Yes.
One thing Catholics don't have is
right.
money.
The largest art collection in the
Although
world.
John did give the people who donated the opportunity to go ask for the refund before it got donated.
Oh, okay, that's good. So how would things have been different if Brett Kavanaugh had not been confirmed with regard to that fund?
He still wouldn't have been able to take it. He would have had to cite judicial concerns up from the federal bench.
If he wanted to keep his gig.
Well, as a federal judge, what did we figure out? He made like 250, 240, something.
I don't
like
even
that.
think it's that high. I think it's around 200. I think it's comparable with what a member of Congress makes.
But that's guaranteed for life. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Even as a federal judge, he was on that. He's in that gig for life. So are you going to take the $600,000 payoff, or are you going to keep on?
Can I help you out?
Yep.
So he had a life before he became a judge, and that is a lifetime appointment, and he's done it a while. You don't think the thought crosses his mind? Wait a minute here. Maybe I give this up now. My name's been dragged through the mud as far as that goes, right? As far as being on the bench, and conservative organizations love me, and they think if he had not been confirmed, a disservice has been done to me, an injustice.
Right.
You don't think that he would sit on 14 boards of different companies, paying him hundreds of thousands, maybe millions a year?
But you know what would happen
with his legal expertise?
What would happen then is that each one of those corporations and companies would get attacked for having a serial rapist on their board, and then
doesn't matter. Those conservative ones would and could. I mean, look, there's all kinds of people that have been questionable cats that sit on these boards. Most people don't even know that doesn't get the attention. I'm just saying, trust me, this guy would sit on 2 or 3 boards. They would approach him to say, hey, why don't you be a member of our board of directors, and you'll be an official legal consultant. That's what you bring to the table. But it's also high profiling. Lobbying companies would hire him.
Oh, yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would have not had
if he wants it.
Yeah,
and it's not like you have to actually work at that point, right? It's more the name you bring. Eric Cantor, when he got defeated by Dave Pratt and did not finish his term, he was approached immediately and took a job with a lobbying firm. Now, they cannot officially lobby for like 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, but he worked as a receptionist for them and made $400,000 a year.
Nice work.
Whatever they called it, right?
Right.
And now, years later, he does lobby. I mean, it's like that.
Right.
So he could have done that and take the $600,000. I don't know if he would have, but I would have thought of that.
It certainly would have been on his list of options.
Take the money and run.
But he doesn't have to worry anymore because he's set for life.
Until the impeachment.
Well, of course, yes. But we don't like to talk about that. Moving on to, this is interesting. It turns out that for Whitey Bulger, life in prison meant 5 years.
He's dead?
Oh, yeah. They transferred Whitey Bulger to a West Virginia prison where he suddenly turned up dead. They say it was a suicide, 2 shots to the back of the head. They are treating this as a homicide.
Seriously, do we know the cause of death?
Nope. Bulger
beat himself to death, something like that.
Yeah, he beat himself to death. Yeah, he worked with the FBI.
Turns out he slipped on a bar of soap and hit his head 75 times.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Here's a guy who, as a mobster, worked with the FBI. The mob does not look kindly.
Let me think. He worked with the FBI, showed up dead in jail.
Not gonna.
Nope, I can't figure it out. Sorry.
Not gonna turn out well for him. I'm afraid.
You don't have to, have a lifetime in criminal justice system of prosecution or police work to figure this one out.
Yeah. No, he's no longer has to worry about the 3 hots in the cot. We'll get to the woman who has had sex with ghosts in just a second. There's an update on her. After I tell you that SaveYourHeart.com sponsors this portion of your headline.
You know the nice thing about SaveYourHeart.com? This is an organization that is committed to saving your heart. Committed to just save your heart,
and aptly named, ironically.
Yeah. I mean, so let's say SaveYourHeart.com sold pizzas.
Right, that would not not actually make sense because that wouldn't be saving your heart.
Right. I mean, could it be a pizza that actually saved your heart as well? Sure, it could be. Could be something like that.
Could be.
Could it be good if you knew a backstory? Maybe, but it's not as obvious. So it's really good that SaveYourHeart.com is about saving your heart.
That is a good thing.
Powerful marketing plan they have there. Imagine a world without heart disease. That's what SaveYourHeart.com has done, and they haven't just imagined it. They have actively worked to prevent and treat heart disease. Heart disease treatment and effective approaches to heart disease prevention. That is what they are committed to at SaveYourHeart.com. Now, you can go to, of course, SaveYourHeart.com. You can also call 800-77-HEART. That's 800-77-HEART or SaveYourHeart.com. And it's a whole system that they have because it's not one size fits all. There are multiple products and services they have to work on helping you save your heart. So, do you have heart disease? Have you been diagnosed with it? Visit SaveYourHeart.com and check out their platform that will help you out. The Pauling Therapy Essentials formula, which is going to help you treat your heart disease. If you don't have heart disease, you may actually have it, not know, or you're probably going to have it in the future because heart disease is one of the top killers in America. It's so broad reaching, too. And we know things like, proper oral hygiene will help prevent it as well.
Yeah.
But what that means is every second of every day, just by you living and, eating, the saliva contains that plaque.
It's the
and
weird
plaque
stuff.
hurts your heart.
Yeah, it's the weird stuff you don't think about that could be hurting you. I mean, it's never too soon to start taking care of your heart. Believe me, when you hit like 50, you start thinking about that stuff.
Right.
You don't think about it when you're 30, although you should. But you should start thinking about it as soon as possible.
So go to SaveYourHeart.com or call 800-77-HEART and save your heart. SaveYourHeart.com.
Here's the funny thing. My dad used to, the whole red wine, good for your heart. He used to drink a glass of Mad Dog 2020 every day.
Just a glass?
Of Mad Dog 20. It's like, Dad.
Boy, he was living high.
That is
living
not,
high in the hog.
that is not quite the same
Classy.
as red wine.
That's
Mad Dog is.
I mean, it's reddish purplish.
He's dead now.
So that's the reason I'm going to have this red wine here, son. Mad Dog 2020.
I told
Coming
you, Dad.
at you.
I told you it wasn't going to work.
By the way, I have an update on that. On your dad's Mad Dog consumption.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, on my show at Spoonie.com. So I have a 1-hour program at Spoonie.com. It's not political. It's all just food and business and some of the stuff we talk about with Chef Patrick. That is weekdays, 2 p.m. on Spoonie.com. I'll also put it on my Facebook as well. But seriously, I do have a story about that.
You done with your self-promotion?
Sorry.
Can
Yes,
I
go
move
ahead.
on now? T-minus 6 days. T-minus 6 days until the most important election of our lifetime. That is T-minus 6 days until
2018's the most important election of our lifetime.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Till 2020.
That's
That's not. Well, so I guess this one is the second most important.
Yes, second.
2020 will
Yes,
be
20
the most important because you got the.
2022.
Is that what?
That'll be the next midterm, so I could see
this
that
will be
being
the third most important election.
This one's right now, but it's really important still,
Yes,
though.
exactly.
Next one.
Okay, so maybe fourth or something
Fourth,
like that.
it's
All
down
right.
there. And a
All
Barbara Streisand update. She's considering moving to Canada if in Tuesday's midterms elections the Republican Party is favored.
She's already supposed to do that. You shut your lying mouth.
She just won't go away.
Seriously, just stop it.
Yeah, so.
Why is she even
I
relevant
don't
now?
know. She recorded a new.
How long ago was Yentl?
It's 130
30 years ago?
At least. I never saw that movie.
Neither did I. I didn't know what it was.
It's also National Knock Knock Joke Day. Ron, I have a great knock knock joke.
It's a good
for
one,
you.
Ron.
You start.
You ready?
You start.
Go. Start.
Knock, knock.
Who's
there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Oh, I'm sorry, banana.
Banana.
He sucks at these.
I
jokes.
know,
I do.
right?
I suck.
Really, just. You know what? Let's just move on. It was on this day in 1926 that somebody famous died.
Not Whitey Bulger.
Nope, that was just yesterday.
1926, October 31st, 1926. Edgar Allan Poe.
Houdini.
Damn it.
You were close, though. Eric Weiss. In 1993, somebody else famous died. That's been 1993.
Houdini again.
Nice try.
That was quite a trick.
River Phoenix. It's been 25 years since River Phoenix died.
Hit me with another one who died today.
Christopher Columbus.
No, you're not supposed to tell me who.
Oh.
Give me a year.
Let's see.
Somebody who died today.
I don't know who else died today.
Come on.
Give me somebody else who died in 1997.
There's got to be some significance to dying on Halloween, right? Siegfried, did he die on Halloween?
Siegfried's not dead.
It was Roy. Roy's
He's
dead.
not dead
The
either.
lion got him. The white lions got him.
Neither one of them are dead.
The lion got him.
No, he bit him, but
they
he's
had
not
the white
dead.
lions,
The
and
lion
they
got
died.
him, but he's not dead.
Yes. He's not dead. They drag. Let's just move on.
By the way, it's not a lion.
It's a tiger.
But, you
They
know,
don't have any
audience
white
is
I'm sorry,
going,
it was a
"It's
white
lion."
tiger, actually.
That's right.
Christopher Columbus would be 567 years old today, but
He
been
looks
dead.
great.
He
He
really
looks
does.
fantastic.
Vanilla Ice is 50. Vanilla Ice is 50. Wow. Rob Schneider's 54, and Selfie C is 20 years old today. I cannot believe it. She's 20 years old.
Looks great, though, for her age.
She really does.
Who is she? I mean, for
Selfie
people
C.
who don't know.
Like Ron. She's a YouTube star with more followers than you and me and Ron have put together, just so you know, and making more money. Let's move on
But
to our...
real quick question
Yes.
about her, though. Does GoDaddy like her?
That's a very good question, and she's hot.
And now, an important transgender update.
After the leaking of a Trump administration memo arguing that transgender people don't exist as a distinct class of people, they say this is the transgender suicide hotline has quadrupled their calls. Quadrupled the calls.
Okay, wait a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
I get that you're saying you're transgender. Why would the suicide hotline?
Well,
because you're triggered. He said we don't exist. Or are you just trying to show people that you exist? Are you
Or-
triggered like you're getting ready to kill yourself? Because if you're just saying, hey, we exist, that's not what the suicide prevention hotline is for.
Or does this clue you in that this could be a mental issue?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. One of two reasons you called the suicide hotline. To go, no, we really do exist, and I just want people to know I'm here. In which case, you're doing it wrong. Or you're like, I really may kill myself now, which is horrible, but you're triggered because he simply said you don't exist. That would be, you're mentally disturbed.
Sam Ames is the Trans Lifeline Executive Director. He said since the Health and Human Services memo was leaked, the number of calls to our crisis hotline has more than quadrupled, doubling the number of new callers who have never needed to access our services before. This is bad news, but it isn't new news. He did say new news.
So here's the thing. What happens if you work for one of those services and you have to use the restroom?
Wow,
You're talking to Brad. I know you want to. I got to use
Don't want to get up.
I don't want to put you on hold.
Bad time.
That's gonna
Yeah.
be bad.
Those are your headlines.
Our country was once a place where no matter what you said, most of the time people either listened, debated you civilly, or just ignored you and walked away. There was no battle to be fought and won. It was just a conversation. That's no longer the case. The country changed with the introduction of the progressive left's concept of political correctness. It was meant to stifle free speech, which it did primarily for 8 years under the former administration. Conservatives were told impliedly or otherwise that their traditional values might offend others, while the left continued to advance its own agenda to transform America into a country without conventional social norms. The concept fueled emotion and divided us as a nation when those on the right saw their First Amendment rights slipping away. But with the election of a president who believes in the Constitution and never backs down or gives in, the right feels empowered while the left feels threatened. Using Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals and the idea of ridicule, which Alinsky saw as man's most potent weapon, liberal politicians are encouraging their supporters to deride those on the right. Democratic politicians have repeatedly emboldened their supporters to harass conservatives, get in their faces, or kick them, while at the same time blaming President Trump for all of the world's problems. As the left feels pushback against their plans, perhaps for the first time, count on them to double down. Whether with the help of mainstream media, left-wing politicians, or activists, the desire of the left to fundamentally change America will also never stop. The challenge for conservatives will be to maintain its own civility and lawfulness while refusing to give in. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. We the people.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
All right, Brad's complaining because he didn't get to the ghost thing. It's Halloween.
I just think that this is appropriate. The woman who has claimed that she had sex with ghosts.
Claimed? That's very triggering.
Yes.
It sounds like you don't believe her
right.
then.
Hashtag believe women. Sorry. That was consensual, so she was not technically attacked by a ghost.
Okay.
There's no word on the ectoplasm results either. But congratulations are in order for her. She is now engaged to one of the ghosts, she says. Amethyst Realm has spoken out about her. Yes, that's her.
So they're
that's
engaged.
Her name. Yes.
Wow.
Her unusual love life in the past, she claimed that she joined the Mile High Club with a ghost, wanted to have children with a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay good money to see that. How do you have children with a ghost? The 30-year-old is now planning a wedding after her spirit lover popped the question in Somerset, England. And again, it's no wonder we kicked their ass in the war. She told The Sun, "We're soulmates. We're meant for each other. That'll never change. The fact that he's a spirit is by the by."
Is by the by.
Is by the by. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. No, that's Australian. Sorry. Amethyst previously claimed she had sex with a number of ghosts. She met her new man while she was in Australia on business at the start. Why did she have to go? Can't ghosts go pretty much wherever they want? I mean, why did she have to go and meet him in Australia? Why couldn't she have met him closer to home? He doesn't have a name. Amethyst even revealed she's not certain he's male, but says that gender is less important.
Whoa. She may be a lesbian?
Don't judge.
No, I'm just saying, is gay marriage allowed over there? Is it legal?
In
the UK?
Or in the spirit realm.
Can the spirit realm still get you pregnant if you're not?
Ron, please. You're just embarrassing yourself.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you're just embarrassing yourself with that question.
They're doing
of course,
it right.
Please.
He says
Come on, if she says so.
Gender
please.
is less
I
important.
fell right in that hole, didn't I?
I didn't know where my bell was.
She,
Okay, so many questions. First of all, is there gay we don't know if it's a male or female. Assuming it's female, there could be a problem if gay marriage is not allowed in the UK. Or if you're saying if it is allowed in the spirit world, does the UK recognize, is there reciprocity for marriage from the spirit world to the UK?
So in other words, if she was in the hospital, let's say, could her ghost husband or wife come to visit her in the hospital, or would he be turned away?
Which is why we need
turned away.
Gay ghost marriage.
By the way, the spirit counselor said that her fiance proposed at Wookie Hole Caves in Somerset. There was no going down on one knee because he doesn't have knees. But for the first time, I heard him speak.
He doesn't have knees.
Gotcha.
He's a ghost, Ron. Of course he doesn't have knees.
He has arms and a head, but the bottom he just kind of like goes off into like a little.
Have you ever seen Casper? Does Casper have knees?
Have knees? Hello.
No. He's got that little squiggly tail thing. That.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wow. Lost my mind.
I think a guy's informed and he's not. What do you rely on somebody to know what's going on and he doesn't. Now,
such a hater.
I feel really bad for the ghost.
Because he's marrying a crazy woman?
No, Brad, no. Because he's marrying a whore.
Yeah, she slept with a lot of ghosts.
Right. Thank you, Ron.
That slipped right by me.
I mean, listen, I'm not that judgmental to say, okay, listen, you're in college, you met a ghost or two.
Right.
Fine, I get it, right? You date, you find the right person. But when she's saying she had sex with a lot of ghosts, and some of them likely female, you're just a whore now.
Look, what made this one special? That's what I want to know.
Let me say slutty.
Have you seen
Maybe not hoary.
What's the difference between slutty and
$20,
whore?
same as downtown. The other answer is I actually have a follow-up for that, too. Ready? Hit me again.
What's the difference between slutty and hoary?
Okay, a whore has, let me make sure I get this right.
You want to start again?
Hang on.
You think you collect your thoughts there for just a second.
Go, hit me again.
Hey, so, Doc, what's the difference between slutty and hoary?
A whore has sex with everyone. A slut has sex with everyone but you.
Thank you.
There it is.
Where's the rim shot? Damn it, this desk has no rim shot.
Okay. Now, Ron, you get a good point there, right? What made her say, all right, I've been whoring around in the spirit world for years.
Right.
I've been sleeping with everybody and everything that has something.
Has any ectoplasm.
Had whatever, right. Anything that gives me, And when she finally said, this is the one, this is the guy, maybe gal for me.
They offered to send her to college.
You think that's, maybe the ghost has a lot of money.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, she clearly does not know the ghost very well.
No.
She doesn't even know if it's a dude or a chick.
No. That's right.
I mean, wouldn't that be a conversation that you have? Hey, I know you proposed and it sounds great, but I just realized there's a couple of things I don't know about you.
And is she wearing an engagement ring?
It is. You can't see it, though.
No,
okay.
it's a ghostly.
He might have left his wallet at home.
Right. Which
he went to Jared.
The underworld, Jared, it's invisible. Right. Guys, I'd try that, by the way, if I were you.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? I mean, guys that are getting married in our world, not this, have nothing to do with the spirit world, you should at least try that when you get engaged. It may save you spending money. No, honey, you don't understand what I did.
New technology.
Technology is a good one, too. Say it's invisible, Ron.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. No, this is a spirit world diamond. It's flawless.
It is huge.
It's gargantuan.
It's worth far more than a mortal diamond.
Right, far more. And if it were actually in our mortar world, you wouldn't be able to lift your hand. It's so big.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like the size of a Buick.
It's huge.
So, yeah, I'd give it a shot. If you got a dumb chick, it may work. Right?
Shellback Bow and BJ's Halo Mojo says Casper doesn't have knees because he was a double leg amputee. I think, is that right?
All right, I'm going to ask. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Ready?
Uh-huh.
You don't have knees because you don't have legs.
Right.
And you don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Size does not matter in a spiritual world.
I'm just saying, where does your human-like features, mortal-like features begin and end? So your head, boom, yeah, you got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the arms. You've seen Casper.
Right.
Somewhere on your torso, it fades off into that little wispy curly Q. So
maybe that's it.
Maybe
the curly
that's
Q
it.
does
Maybe
the business.
It works for pigs.
I'm thinking, and ducks, by the way.
Really?
There's actually a problem with the ducks.
There
Did
is?
you-
No.
Yeah, the females go one way, and the males, it's a problem in the duck world. Yeah, it's a real problem. But anyway,
Now I've got to look that crap up.
yeah, you got to look that up in your. The fact that I know this. Anyway, so she doesn't know if it's a man or a woman, but she had sex with him.
Mm-hmm. That would make him an incubus, technically.
Right. Well, it could be a
The
succubus.
succubus is a woman, is a female ghost. A man can have sex with a succubus, but cannot. Well, I guess you could have.
Thank you.
but
Depends
it's-
on the type of
it's
sex.
Incubus.
So you got your ghost, and the ghost is pleasuring you
Uh-huh.
because you had sex with him.
Uh-huh. Is that cheating, by the way?
Well, you're not pleasuring the ghost, obviously.
Okay, Bill Clinton. Thank
But
you.
how do you know?
That's right.
Well, because she doesn't know if it's male or female. So unless the ghost is really just enjoying you, what? What are you doing to the ghost? You don't even know. It just goes down to a wispy little.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Was
See
it-
this? These are my shoulders. What I got here are arms. You can see this is my my belly. That's all that's left.
Check out the tail on that one. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, do ghosts, enjoy oh, you touch my shoulder. I'm about to show you my ghost face. Oh, ghost. I don't know. I'm just asking.
These are
So
the things
clearly,
we want to know.
so this is some selfish slutty bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. She's sleeping with every phantom out there by her own admission. Suddenly decides to settle down with this person. Doesn't even know their gender.
But she's at least settling
And
down.
then said, you can pleasure me, but I'm not willing to pleasure you. It was a very one-sided sexual
Brad, what's she going to change her name to?
I did. That's a good question because what was
Ron.
the ghost's name? I don't
Ron,
know.
she's in England, and she's marrying a ghost. I'm guessing she may want to keep her name. If you know what I'm
She
saying.
might. She might.
This is not some southern lady in 1950 Alabama that is like, I just can't wait to take my husband's name. She's like, no, I've decided to keep my name. She's not even hyphening. She's like, I'm not even taking Ghost as my last name. It's just me. What is it? Mystic Pendulum?
Amethyst Realm.
That's right. That's right. It's not going to be Amethyst Realm Ghost. I'm just keeping Amethyst Realm.
Yeah, she.
Well, and it's also my professional name too. So
How's she going to make money if she changes her name?
Right.
The words "Will you marry me?" she said echoed around the cave. She added, "It's hard to explain, but until that point, his words were inside my head. But on that day, the words were outside."
So the words were in my head, but in the magic moment, they were outside my head. Yes.
She probably had just yelled them out.
Maybe. That's
to make
right.
them echo.
Right. Yep.
What does she scream?
By the way,
oh, ghost! Go, ghost!
You
dirty little
phantom specter, something. By the way, this just in, Sybil has commented and said, "Damn."
Wow.
What? She is crazy.
I used to think I was weird.
There is a room of psychologists waiting to speak with this woman.
Oh, yes. She is a psychologist dream.
Yeah, because this is not even just about the money. She's
she's out there like last year's Easter egg.
Listen, you consume the mayonnaise that's been out in the sun far too long.
You know how hard it is to get ectoplasm out of clothes? It's really,
very difficult.
It's very, very.
I'm going to need a sheet.
All temperature doesn't even do it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe we haven't thought of this yet.
What?
Oh,
boy.
Not only do we got to get her on the air, we're going to need to approach her with our new business. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it has to do with ghosts, ghost sex. You know she's going to need ghost marriage counseling down the road.
Yeah, she is.
Right?
Yeah.
What was her name? Amethyst?
Amethyst.
Hi, Miss Realm. Hey, may I call you Amethyst? Yes. I don't know how to say this, but for a while I just had the voice in my head of your ghostly husband, possibly wife.
No. He's outside now.
Right, and it's outside.
Yes.
Just last week, the outside went, I'm married to a crazy bitch. And I just thought as a ghost marriage counselor, I could offer my services.
I'd love to come
it's
to
very, very expensive, though. Very. How much do you got?
I've got a lot.
What's your budget?
It's going to be even more than that.
I've got a lot of
So
money.
you're going to borrow money from some other people, whatever.
Yes.
So, see, I think we got a possible.
She sounds strangely like the queen.
Yeah, she sounds a little like
weird.
the chicken that Foghorn Leghorn just wanted to stay warm. Oh, yes.
Get away from me, kid. You
That's right. I'd rather be cold. Wow. All right. So imagine you are considering dating, and you meet somebody, and you're like, "Hey, Miss Realm, nice to meet you, Amethyst." When I got your email from that dating site, I was so excited because you're quite attractive. You seem very nice. So tell me about your last relationship, Amethyst.
Yeah, well, he was wispy. He was hard to keep track of.
Oh, he was just kind of flighty and traveled a lot.
He was a ghost.
So he wasn't in your life a lot. He abandoned you.
No, he was a ghost. He
just was up one day and gone.
He didn't ghost me. He was a ghost. He was a spirit. We were married in the spirit realm.
Like a specter, like a phantom.
Yes, but we prefer
Check,
ghosts.
please.
We prefer ghosts. No, you don't.
You would call for the check faster than I did with the chick with the genital warts.
Can you get an STD from?
Have I told that on MoJo50.com? Have I told you that one on MoJo50.com yet on this platform?
I don't remember that.
Oh, the audience that traveled with me from the other platform knows about the.
Forget genital warts.
I'll share that in a couple of days or whatever.
No, but she's the kind you just don't. The ghost is making the mistake. She's the dating. She's in the hot crazy matrix.
The ghost is making the mistake?
Yes, because he's marrying a crazy woman.
No, he's
all
not.
His ghostly friends are like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
That is crazy. But you're forgetting something, which I will further educate you in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Ghosts are trying to escape their realm.
Okay.
Ain't that the damn truth?
This is a marriage of convenience. She doesn't know it. He's using her.
She's like an anchor wife.
Yes, thank you. He's doing it for the green card.
Wow.
He's doing it for the green card to our world. That's what it's about.
I can't believe we didn't see that side.
Right. Which shows you how bad the underworld is.
It really
that he's like, I'll even be around this crazy ass bitch for a while to get out. This is right?
Get out from underneath the thumb of the man in the ghost world.
I got to do the chore again. In the cave, guys. I don't know how much longer I can take this. We're almost getting married. I had to do the chore. This time it was in a cave.
She doesn't even know what to call me.
Where was the other place she said she had sex?
Mile High, so in an airplane.
It was on an airplane, whatever. This crazy woman's wanting it all the time. And I'm just like...
Don't marry the crazy ones. You just date them.
How long do I have to stay with her after I get married before the green card police...
6 months.
Yeah, what's the residency requirement in the UK before you can dump her?
Probably. That's a good. I have to look that one up. I don't have that answer.
Questions for all of us, I guess.
Yeah, they truly are.
If you'd like to avoid crazy people like this and maybe just meet somebody that's nice and conservative, libertarian ideas and values like you have, go to wethepeople.dating. That website again, wethepeople.dating. It's a great website that has weeded out all of those nuts. There could be some other nuts, but we've gotten rid of the lion's share of them. We started with a database of millions and said, all right, all you people that are liberal, great. Hey, it's been nice. You go on your own little place over there because it's not right for us.
Right.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. It's like last call for them. And, I mean, if you want to get together with them, fine, that's fine. But if you want to meet somebody that's nice and libertarian conservative, sign up for an account today at wethepeople.dating. That's wethepeople.dating. All right, let's go to the social media communiques.
Suspicious backyard packages says, by the way, we have not answered the question, is she hot? You be the judge. She is relatively hot.
She is okay.
She's kind of saucy.
Yeah, I'll give her. But you know what? She's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, that's what I keep saying. She's the dateable type. You just don't anchor yourself to her.
I don't even think, I mean, there's no accounting or determining for sure, but I don't even think she's the primary wake up with your Johnson cut off chick.
How do you do that to a ghost anyway? You don't know where it is.
No, I mean, if you and I decided to follow up and say,
right.
I don't think, I think other chicks, you'd have to worry about that more.
You don't fall asleep with them. That's nuts.
I think she's less dangerous as far as that goes. But, Brad, do you know how much fun she's going to be?
Oh, huge.
Just this alone. Are you ready? You're sitting at dinner. You order the filet. She orders the lobster. You're waiting for it to come. And you're like, so how was your day today, Amethyst? How was that? How was it? How was it? Was there...
I had a good day.
Oh, my God. What was that?
What was
that alone? That one phrase over and over again is going to be gold, Jerry. Gold.
Yeah, she's easily distractible.
Distractible. She's going to give you an answer.
Yes, she is.
Did you hear that?
Well, yes, that was Timmy.
Because I heard a voice outside, not just inside my head.
That was Timmy. Hello, Timmy. Timmy, it's so good to see you again.
How about this one? So, Amethyst, your day was good. Yeah, mine was good. This is going to sound crazy, but my dead aunt called me today.
Oh, she did? Well, there's nothing crazy about that. Let's talk about it.
She said you're supposed to give me $1 million. Even if you don't have it, you're supposed to find a way.
Well, I'll have to talk to her first, I suppose.
And those other things I asked you to do, you're supposed to do them as well.
Don't know if I can get my legs in that position.
My aunt called and said, she's dead. She's been dead 13 years.
Well, then I must do it, I suppose. This is why she doesn't know the ghost's name.
Gold.
The ghost is smart because he's not giving her his name. This is an obvious plan. He's going to marry her, then dump her.
Who's performing the ceremony?
Oh, boy, that's a good question, too.
That's a scary thought.
See,
I don't know.
I don't think we have an answer to that. So many questions. Oh, by the way, she did add that she knows the idea of having a baby with her fiance sounds crazy, but believes it isn't totally out of the question.
Does she have that in the spirit realm or in our realm?
That's a...
Because if I'm a doctor, I'm taking her money.
By the way, is she's having...
I am. So it'd be like this. So, Miss Realm, may I call you Amethyst?
Yes, of course. I call you Amethyst. Yes.
Thanks for coming in. I do have room for new patients. So you say you're pregnant, right?
Yes, I'm carrying.
Because you took the test and it came back negative. Do you know why that would be?
I have no idea. Maybe they don't show up on typical testing equipment.
What do you mean they?
Well, spirits. I was impregnated.
Let me check that.
Oh, you're in.
Excuse me for a second.
Now, at that point, I go like this. Is that right? I go, huh. So you're married to...
Yes, there's a ghost.
Okay.
Ghost.
And then I'm thinking, okay, there's no cameras in here. And it's not like a hidden camera thing. And you know what? You know what? I do have a room take for your patient. Great. The nice thing is you'll have to pay me, but I don't have to see you ever.
Oh,
And
this
then-
is very
then-
convenient. I
right.
like this
Yeah,
idea.
exactly.
That's right. Do you
And
have
then-
an iPad? We can FaceTime you.
I never need to come in.
No, just when it's time to deliver.
Oh, so I just bring
And
you.
it's going to have to be at a special delivery service.
Oh, so I just send you the money.
Yeah, exactly. Just go ahead and send that.
I
And
can do
then,
that, yes.
then when the time shows up, you're like, welcome. Hey, it's good time to deliver. Get naked. Fine.
By the way,
just kind of stay right there. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm going to get a sandwich.
They're having a pagan hand fasting ceremony.
Oh, well, good.
I don't know what a hand fasting ceremony is, but boy,
What? Hand fasting.
hand
Okay.
fasting, yes.
Wait a
Jeez.
minute.
Yeah.
How is she going to be impregnated if it's a woman ghost?
That's what I was saying earlier.
Wow. Have you got,
How
wake
can
up
you have
and
children?
smell the new millennium.
Oh,
You don't
thank
have
you.
to be a man to impregnate somebody.
Wait, we don't know when the ghost died, if they died the new millennium or the old millennium.
It doesn't matter. Love transcends.
Spirit worlds?
And so does ectoplasm.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have we exhausted? Do we have any comments?
Bob
Communications?
Loblaw
Love the
says,
Bob Loblaw.
perhaps Amethyst found her fiance on ghostdaddy.com.
Oh,
You see what he did there?
I see what you...
I do see what you did there. Ghostdaddy.com. I like that. See,
by the way, GoDaddy probably absolutely supports this nonsense.
I have, yes. Every.
They're like, no, this
suspicion.
sounds reasonable, but conservative.
Saddle Tramps, tainted meme cop.
Got
Says,
it.
Brad Stagg's British woman voice has me wanting to tell the Queen's drunk again. That's what I heard. She sounded like the Queen. That's all I know.
Hello, I'm Amethyst Realm.
Hello. Hello.
Let's call her up and claim that we are actually the real Amethyst Realm.
I want to have her on the show.
We got to
need
get her on.
the show.
You know who else we should try to get on? I got to look up Fran Baskerville, the singing psychic. I don't know if she's still out there. I used to have her on the air.
Oh, I was going to say
She became the singing, and it's not like she can actually sing. She knows one chord on a guitar. Goes well, it looks like I can. So you go. We'll get her to predict about the election, and she'll be like, well, it looks like I can see that Republicans will take the House, keep the House. That's the whole thing, and it's over. Yeah. And you go, well, what about the Senate? Well, it looks like I can see. They'll pick up 2 houses in the Senate, or 2 seats in the Senate.
We should have gotten Kenny Kingston on.
Oh yeah,
but he's dead.
Well, and she became the singing psychic. She got her psychic powers after being hit
by a meteor.
It was either a logging truck or a dynamite truck. Wow. I can't remember, but she was hit by a truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in, I guess, some mining camp or something, or logging camp, and got hit by a truck hauling logs or dynamite.
I
think it was logs.
Tell the future. That's great.
Right. Only when she sings, though.
Obvious question. What was she doing in a logging camp? I mean,
I don't know.
Playing her damn guitar. What do you mean?
What, you think they don't need spirit consultants in a logging camp?
We'll get them.
What are
Yeah,
you, some
this
sort
is
of
going to be good for us. This is good for us.
Provincial twit?
All right. Now maybe you should move on to this other little bit of craziness I have. Should we do that? Or do you have another communication?
No, I think we've wrung every drop of ectoplasm out of that story we possibly
I see what you did there. Okay, from one crazy bitch to another one.
I don't want to go around insulting people. I don't want to paint with a broad brush. Every immigrant is this, every African American is that, every, other person with, different religious beliefs or whatever. That's childish.
What do you think of Cory Booker's? And you didn't comment on him, and you feel free.
Oh, I adore him.
What do you think about him saying kick them in the shins, essentially? Start to get to that kind of political.
Well, that was Eric Holder.
Yeah, Eric Holder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know they all look alike.
No, they don't.
Wow.
And I don't want to.
So they all look alike.
She was talking about politicians.
Is that it?
Yeah,
All
she must have
politicians?
been. I mean, surely she would not have been saying that all black people look alike. She would not possibly be saying that.
Number one, the moderator or the person interviewing her, whatever, who conflated the two, confused the two. That's a problem. And then Hillary saying that, and quickly she's like, no, they don't.
Wasn't that Dana Perino?
I don't think
Was
that's
it? Yeah, I think it was.
It does not look like Dana Perino.
It doesn't.
But she was. I've never seen someone with a comeback that fast.
No, right? I mean, unless Dana, it looks more like that dude on MSNBC.
Yeah.
Who's that guy at MSNBC?
Lawrence
Rachel Maddow. It looks more like Rachel Maddow.
Who's that dude?
Right? That's Rachel Maddow. So
Ron's been drinking again.
no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, it looks like Ralph Macchio.
He finally found a new career.
Right, that's it.
Good
No,
for
it's
him.
It's some chick who that's who she
Yeah,
looks
it's
like.
not Dana
So she gets
Perino.
around.
It's not Perino.
So here's my question on this: and was Hillary her joke? She tried to make a joke, and the audience, they loved it.
It was funny.
It is funny in the right context, right? So was her joke as in a black people all look alike? Because there's that stereotype. Was it the joke of black people all look alike and I'm being satirical about that stereotype? Was it I'm being satirical about that stereotype because we can liberals, from her perspective, don't agree with that, but those conservatives are racist and they would say it?
Ding, ding, ding.
Is that no? Was that her true motivation, or is that what she would claim today if we were call her on it?
That is her plausible deniability right there.
What was her true motivation?
It's a stereotype, funny joke. Wow. I'm going to hear it for that one.
What is Hillary's demographic?
Well, it's up until now.
Old.
Yes. Yeah.
Old. I mean, she is. She's old.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's
yes. Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying, you're ancient, you don't have value, anything like this. But Hillary, old or young, go.
Yeah, old.
Right.
Really
old or middle-aged, go.
Old.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not 112, but she's 70 now.
Yes.
You are on the other side of it.
Yes.
Okay, great. From her generation, things like all black people look alike.
Right.
That's just a standard stereotype. So when you get to that age, your references, your pop culture references, your whatever, stop at some point. They have stopped long before.
Yes.
So she's going to revert to one of those. She said that, or it hit her little noggin and it started coming out before she, and then I'm sure halfway through she was like, okay, this is going to be okay because I can stereotype. I'm mocking conservatives. Good, done.
She can get away with it because she was just being funny. It wasn't. She didn't have hate in her heart when she did that, nor when she spoke to that. Remember the convention of wasn't it black women in Atlanta? Was I don't mind.
I don't feel me's nose ways tired. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And by the way, they all sound alike too. Apparently
so.
From Hillary's perspective,
I've never heard any black person sound that way. But
listen, this is particularly troubling coming from out of her. I mean, yes, this is a stereotype, but that stereotype is pretty disturbing as well. I mean, this is somebody who's progressive and continuing a stereotype like this that is this wrong and racist. How do you say all black people look alike when you have Asian people? Shouldn't you lead with Asian people in that joke? Okay, so it's wrong.
Yeah.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump's call to end birthright citizenship generating a lot of debate, and Mark Krikorian with the Center for Immigration Studies credits the president for that, saying that Mr. Trump's trying to call attention to what has been a significant policy issue in the U.S. for decades.
What we do now is that anyone born here, including people just born to tourists, short-term visitors, anything, automatically gets citizenship. That's untenable. I mean, that's a more radical position than pretty much any other country.
Krikorian notes Democrat Senator Harry Reid raised the issue of ending birthright citizenship back in the early 90s. She spent almost 10 years in prison, sentenced to death for blasphemy. But now, Pakistan's highest court has acquitted Asia Bibi, ordering the Christian woman to be released from custody.
Today's verdict for many human rights activists and others in Pakistan will be welcomed. They'll see it as a victory over injustice. But for others, particularly supporters of populist right-wing clerics, it's a matter of outrage, and there are fears that there could be scenes of unrest.
That's a BBC's Sekunder Kermani in Islamabad. Refugee groups reaching out to Jews after the synagogue massacre in Pittsburgh.
The work of Jewish Family and Children's Services of Pittsburgh includes help in refugee resettlement. And President Jordan Golan says the agency is keenly aware that activity factored into the accused attacker's stated motivation. Golan says he has been moved by the response of refugees to Saturday's massacre at the synagogue.
They are so grateful to the Jewish community for our support and are devastated by the thought that their arrival may have contributed to our suffering.
I'm Warren Levinson.
6 days to Election Day, President Trump holds another GOP campaign rally tonight, this one in Fort Myers, Florida. On Wall Street, Dow futures up 127 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
Hey, it's Doc Thompson. Got the new show on MoJo 50 coming up. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And as a regular feature, my good friend, my life partner, Chef Patrick Mosier. I mean that in a food sort of way.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You'll be joining us on the broadcast as well?
Absolutely. Every day that you ask me to.
Talking food and business and prostitutes, right? Because you're the food biz pro, and that's what the pro's for.
It's all about cocaine and hookers.
It's all about cocaine and hookers until somebody gets arrested. And then it's about the legal system. And well, you get the point. We'll be talking food and food trends and business. And of course, we'll be spotlighting business as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick Mosier will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours. So we will have
somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
During harvest season, it is believed by some that the barriers between our world and the underworld become porous. That throughout the season, night after night, it becomes easier and easier for the unsettled spirits to escape their confinement. But there is one night during the witching season where the gateway between worlds opens completely. And that night is tonight. It's All Hallows Eve. And tonight, as some would have you believe, the door that leads out of the abyss will be blown open, and the tormented spirits will flood into our world, and the dead will rise and walk the earth once again. There are those who believe the undead are real, and I say they're right. Now, I see you scoffing there, Mr. Staggs. Sure, non-believers, scoff. But I'm now going to offer you proof that zombies are real, that those dearly departed are not gone, but still among us. I will prove to you now that the dead walk among us during this season.
All right.
Rita Pisano passed away 10 years ago. It's documented. She lived in South Philly. She died over 10 years ago. Pennsylvania State Police voting records show she is still listed as an active voter who cast ballots in 2008, 2012, 14, and yes, even 2016's primary elections.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Brad, she cast votes in all of those elections.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Do you need more proof? Susie Salee was buried in 1998. Yet voting records show she voted in Chicago 12 years later. Conchetta Galera died in 2009, but voted in 2013. A neighbor was asked if there was a way that Galleria could have possibly voted, and she said, not unless she came out of her grave. The dead walk among us, Brad.
They do not.
Zombies are out there during this season.
This is voter fraud. This is not zombies walking among us.
Wait, what?
This is voter fraud. This is what they do when they need votes.
Excuse me.
Voter fraud. This is
Hold
not about
on 1
zombies.
second, Brad.
Not about zombies.
Given that voter fraud is a myth,
it's not a myth.
They say it's voter suppression, Brad.
Yes.
That voter fraud is a myth. No. There's only one explanation, and that is zombies are real and they're voting.
No. This is just plain and simple voter fraud. That's all it is.
Timothy Turner. He died in 2006, yet he voted in the presidential election of 2016.
Yeah, that would be using young Timothy Turner as a
Victor
stooge.
Coswell died in 1994. Records show that he voted at least 6 times since then. An El Paso County, Colorado woman died in 2009, but cast ballots in 2011, 12, 13, and 14. Brad Staggs.
Yes.
The dead are alive and voting.
The people who are using dead people as legitimate votes.
Brad, based on what you're saying, naysayer.
Yes, that would be me.
What you're saying is, if true, the dead do not walk among us.
That's absolutely true.
And what you're saying is Democrats are lying.
Yes, that would be pretty much.
And violating the law.
Yes, that would be it.
But Brad, if that's the case, if that's the case, that means there's also media culpability.
Yes, that is true as well. Yes, they are walking hand in hand.
Wait a minute, I'm going to have to think about that. Ron, you're going to have to kill that music. This is throwing the whole thing off there. I thought I made a pretty solid point here.
Zombies are not walking.
I got story after story of people voting, even though they've been dead. And you're suggesting that Democrats are lying to us.
This is a way of
to commit voter fraud, and that the media is carrying water for them as part of the propaganda.
Yes, it's called cheating. It is called cheating when you don't get what you want.
But Brad, Democrats, liberals, and progressives have the moral high ground.
Yeah, they believe they have the moral high ground.
Wow.
They don't actually have it.
You shook my world there, Brad.
Yeah, well, that's.
I mean, isn't it far easier to believe that the dead are voting during this season?
It is a fact, is what it is. It's a sad fact of sore losers.
Because I keep hearing that, no, this is just voter fraud's not. It's a myth. In fact, I saw an article just last week that said the myth of voter fraud.
Yeah.
And they go into this whole thing that it's not happening. And here's what they say all the time. You ready? It's a myth. Doesn't happen. There's no voter fraud.
Right.
And then when I say, what about Paul Bunch? He died in 2006. But cast a ballot in 2016's primary, 10 years after his death. How about Joseph B. Haggerty? He thought to be resting peacefully in the Bucks County, Pennsylvania cemetery for at least 6 years, but he voted 5 times since then. And I point those examples out, and there is no voter fraud. Turns to, there's not widespread voter fraud.
Keyword.
Widespread.
Widespread.
It changes to that. And I go, well, what makes it widespread? Chicago, I don't know if you know this or not. Lots of zombies in Chicago or lots of voter fraud. For example, Floyd Stevens voted 11 times since his death in 93. Tusa Klesia voted in 2010, died in 1998. Tusa Klesia.
Yeah.
Earl Smith died in 97, voted 2 times since then, at least. At least 119 people who are dead voted a total of 229 times in Chicago in the last decade. In Milwaukee, this is the police department reporting that in 2008, there were more votes counted than the number of voters who officially cast ballots.
That could be a problem.
When I point these statistics out, proven, documented, and they say, well, that's not widespread. Brad?
It's just an isolated incident.
In 10 years that we know of, in just Chicago, 119 people who are dead voted a total of 229 times.
They were busy.
That's what we know of. That's just Chicago. That's just in 10 years, but it's not widespread. So maybe they don't understand the definition of widespread. And Brad, would they ever accept one case of something else? Would they accept one case of, because when you guys talk about this, you're talking about, voter ID and stuff. You just want to suppress votes. Yes. Would they ever tolerate if I said it was only one case of voter suppression?
No, of course.
What would they say?
One case is one case too many.
Yeah, but that's not widespread voter suppression, Brad.
Right, yeah. Yes, it's if one dead person can vote, they should all be allowed to vote.
Huh. Okay.
If we're going to be fair. But maybe this answers the question of why there's so many murders in Chicago. They need the votes.
Okay.
That's insane. And then it's
the truth is this. There is a lot of voter fraud. A lot. Widespread is kind of a subjective term, what you consider widespread with somebody else. Is it enough to sway elections? In some cases, it probably has.
Yeah.
It probably has not changed the outcome in most elections.
Right. No, most likely.
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm wrong.
But we don't know that. I mean, that's just conjecture.
Maybe it is. It's just right. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say it hasn't. Has it changed in some? I would believe that, yeah, it probably has in some cases.
They keep doing it, so yes,
there's got to be a reason.
It's probably working.
Right. Some of this is likely just a mistake. You know what I mean? People, whatever. Okay, I get all of that stuff. But why would people, even on the left, who tell me how sacred a vote is, and they're right.
Yes, it is.
Would they ever tolerate one single example of some impropriety of voting?
Unless it benefited them.
And they should not. If you really care about the sanctity of the vote and the importance of a person's vote, and I don't want voter suppression. I know it's unpopular to believe, and it doesn't fit their narrative to say voter ID laws are there simply so you prove who you are. And we've accepted voter ID everywhere else in life.
Yes.
Or IDs, anyways, presented to cash a check, to buy booze, to prove your age,
buy cigarettes,
whatever it is.
On a plane.
People present an ID all the time, and nobody, minorities or other, have a problem presenting those ID. I don't have an ID to buy the booze. I've seen countless little documentaries and videos that have created. You go into the minority communities that vote primarily Democrat, and you're like, hey, do you have a problem presenting an ID when you're voting? They're like, no, of course you should. They all get it. It's just a Democrat. It's a liberal talking point. You should not only have to present an ID, but it should be a voter ID. And if you want to get to the point of even, because we're going to go there anyway, some biometric testing, fine. I would rather have that than not. That's how important. Now, I don't love the idea of the government biometricing us and stuff. I get that. But I'm just saying, it's going to happen anyways, folks. It's coming.
You've already got your fingerprints.
You already got your fingerprint in that stuff, whatever. So, yeah. Why would you ever not, unless you're using it for a talking point? And I've just laid out many examples of voter fraud. There was, and I want you to have this information too. So as you present this case in the coming week or over the next week, people say it's just a myth, of real examples. You can Google it. You can look it up and find the examples, story after story, every election or the months afterwards where they're like, boop, turns out that there was, here are the two examples of stories. 1,400 people voted or something during the last primaries, you'll see. Or that's afterwards. Leading up to it, they'll say something like so-and-so is trying to purge the rolls, the voting rolls, such certain AG in a certain state and whatever. And they're like, yeah, they're dead people. And they're like, well, you're doing that. It's just voter suppression because it's also going to knock off certain people. Why is this a battle? Why is this? Die, get rid of the people off the polls.
Wasn't it
rolls, doles, Joels? Don't let them vote.
Right. And what wasn't the purging? Wasn't that the Democrats' idea?
No, normally they fight against it.
Yeah, I think. I thought that was the Democrats.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't.
But anyways, this is legit, and there are multiple cases of people convicted of voting improperly. I'll give you a couple of examples. During the 12, one of the elections during the Barack Obama administration, or the one that saw him get elected, it wasn't that one. It must have been 10, 12, or 14. A woman in Cincinnati ended up getting convicted. She was a poll worker, she's a minority. She worked at the polls, convicted of allowing her daughter to come and vote multiple times.
How do they even do that? It must be her daughter's using a different identity each time.
Probably, yeah.
So, well, that would make sense.
I don't like the whole register to vote process. I think there's a flaw there, especially when you go, okay, you're registered to vote. What did it take to register to vote? Well, I had to prove my address. How'd you prove that? With a phone bill, water bill. So not an ID. Nope. And then what did I do? I signed my name. Right. And then when I go to vote, they make me prove who I am because I signed my name again. So what are you, a forensic handwriting expert? No, you're an 82-year-old woman who's been retired for 20 years that decided to work at the polls.
Sign right here in this little box. It's impossible for anybody to put more than 2 letters in.
Yeah, and you can't see anyways. What, you're going to determine if it's actually my signature? It's nonsense. So there's a flaw with that. So there's an example. Cincinnati, Ohio. Look it up. A woman and her daughter both convicted. Here's another one, Brad. A Mexican national who has been living in San Antonio illegally for decades under a stolen identity, voted using that stolen identity many times. He's voted regularly during that time for decades.
I don't blame him. He paid good money for that stolen identity. He wants to get every drop of what it's worth out.
He voted during the 2016 election. Last week, he finally pleaded guilty. He was arrested a couple months ago. His name is Enrique Salazar Ortiz. He's 63. He pleaded guilty to federal charges, including unlawful voting and aggravated identity theft. He assumed the name of a former San Antonio resident, Jesse H. Vargas Jr., who moved out of the area decades and decades ago. I think he moved out maybe when he's in high school or a teenager.
And is he now dead?
I don't know where Jesse H. Vargas is, but he certainly likes him some beta.
He lives on right there.
He was definitely a Hillary Clinton fan. He does, and he definitely wants to keep Austin weird. Actually, San Antonio. But yeah, so here's a documented spread. This is not Doc Thompson inventing or doing shtick here. This was Monday. The guy on Monday pleaded guilty to federal charges of not once, but many times voting illegally. That's voter fraud. And it's just a myth.
And what's going to happen to him? Because if he's here illegally, he's not going to go to prison. What they will do is deport him, right? So he just goes back down to Mexico, wherever he came from.
Yeah, probably.
And then probably comes back. Now, if an American citizen did that, you'd be under the jail.
Yes, that's right. How about if you did that in a foreign country?
Oh, you'd be feeding the fishes.
Yeah, how would that work out for you? I wouldn't think pretty well.
Not well.
And there are more examples that I have. And this has to do more specifically with our election in just under a week. Multiple states are reporting people that should not be voting that are likely going to be able to vote. It is mass voter fraud. Now, this is just the stuff they've caught, and I'm sure that people on the left would argue, no, see, they've caught it, so it's not going to happen. Really? Really? Okay. California's DMV has admitted that 1,500 people have been accidentally registered to vote. Oops. This is just between April and September of this year. Wow. What happened was there's a guy named Randall Marquise. He is a Canadian citizen living here legally, but does not legally have the right to vote.
Right.
He lives in Newport Beach, California. He applied for a replacement driver's license. They mailed it to him, and they mailed him a notice that he is registered to vote in the state of California, even though he is not a U.S. citizen, because they have motor voter.
Motor vote. Oh, it's tied to your driver's license?
Right. Now, they love that. Progressives love that because you're automatically signed up.
It's nice.
Because it's not about saying, I don't want to keep anybody from voting. But if you're not smart enough and driven enough to vote, to make the commitment, maybe you shouldn't be voting.
Well, there's that, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I want to deny you. Please, I'm telling you, please get informed and vote. It's not only your right, it is your duty as a citizen to be involved in your government.
Yeah, but what we don't need are people who go, that's a pretty last name. I think I'm going to vote for them.
Right. Because if you're the one who has to actually go, okay, I'm going to register to vote, and I'm going to get this, I'm going to go down there and do this or whatever, you're likely going to be somebody who is driven to have some knowledge.
And you'll be canceled out by the person who goes, I'm going to vote for them because they have a pretty last name.
So that's fine. So motor voter, I get the whole let's make it as painless because we're all so busy. Got it. But Democrats like this because they want the uninformed, the people that are easily manipulated by the imagery and broad strokes, emotional statements of our party is about caring and loving. We're not like those people who just hate. Do you hate like Ted Cruz hates?
Beto loves puppies.
Beto loves puppies and snow cones.
Oh, yes.
Have you been to the circus? Because he loves taking children to the circus, and he wants all children to be able to go to the circus. Just crap like that. They know it works. So 1,500 people, including Randall Marquise, registered to vote, got registered to vote. Now, when they asked California's Secretary of State about it, he said he is deeply frustrated and disappointed.
Well, okay.
And then said immediate and transparent action is imperative.
Those are big words. That sounds very official.
Right.
When you're disappointed and disillusioned and you
frustrated.
Yes. And you need immediate, what do you say? Immediate
transparency or transparent action.
We demand transparent action. We demand. When do we want it? Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Transparent action.
And what are we actually going to do to get
Nothing.
immediate? There it is.
Nothing.
Right. He didn't say, here is what I'm going to do as Secretary of State to take immediate and transparent action.
No.
He said, what we need here.
What we need here. Yep.
Is immediate and transparent action. In fact, it's imperative.
I am on record as stating we need immediate and transparent.
Yes, Secretary of State.
Yes,
question over here. It's Doc Thompson.
Yes, yes.
It's the MoJo 50.
Yes, sir.
So what immediate transparent action did you actually take?
Next question, please. Next question. Let it be for the record stated that I am for immediate and transparent action.
Yeah, see,
Thank you.
Get that part, but you didn't actually say what the transparent and immediate action should be.
Can we have this man? He's obviously just trying to stir things up.
Now, they asked the people at the DMV and the head up the vote, they said that they have worked quickly with the Department of Technology to correct the errors and have also updated the programming and added additional safeguards to improve this process.
Well, actually, that was the DMV that said that? So
yes.
What they said was, we have worked with...
Quickly. They said they've worked quickly.
We have...
That's the DMV who's worked quickly.
Quickly.
Are you buying that? Are you?
No.
No, I'm not either.
No.
And you'll notice they didn't actually say what they did.
No, of course not.
They worked with the Department of Technology to correct the errors.
It's on record.
How?
Look at us. We worked with them to correct it. We worked to correct the errors.
They updated the programming.
It's updated.
And they added additional safeguards.
So we are on record as having updated the programming and installing additional safeguards.
Right.
Next question.
Just in the state of California.
Yes. Yeah. So they've taken care of the problem, is what they're saying.
Right.
Good.
In Texas, court filings by the Attorney General revealed that funding for the voter fraud ring, came from the head of the Texas Democrat Party in Fort Worth. Letitia Sanchez, maybe it's Letitia, and 3 other vote harvesters have been indicted for allegedly submitting fraudulent absentee ballots.
That's the easiest, and that the absentee ballot, that whole system, that's the easiest one.
This is now, folks. This is now.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what's going on. This is our concern. In Michigan, a little while ago, they found that they lacked a system to keep false citizenship claims from being accepted during voter registration. And you could just go state by state, issue after issue.
And again, it's the easiest secret to keep because it's right there in the wide open spaces. And
you're constantly told by the media and others.
It's not true. It's not true.
It's a myth.
It's not true. It's just
why,
a myth.
Why are you saying it's a myth?
It's not true.
And then when you ask, you go, well, why would somebody perpetuate a myth like this? Because they want to suppress votes.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives them enough of a backstory. So if you're liberal, you want to believe it and you're energized. It's not just something you want to believe that they're trying to suppress votes. It's like, well, I must do something. And look, yep, see those people over there? That's how it is.
And maybe they feel they're doing God's work.
I think they think that, but of course they're not. You know who is doing God's work, though, in this entire process? Tar River Arms.
Yes. If
they are doing God's work, helping people protect themselves and their family by offering the best online firearms purchase site that you can go to. The best experience out there. First of all, when you go to Tar River Arms, you'll notice instantly that things are different because you can actually see the guns.
Yes.
You can zoom in down to the specks of dust on it. And they're like, man, I really cleaned this thing. I better be. They're taking tape as they're taping the pictures and blotting it over it. They've got the 3D imaging so you can spin it around. And once you see and you're like, this gun looks awesome. I can see what it looks like. I'm going to purchase this. You'll notice then that it has the best price that you will simply find. Simply the best price you'll find.
It is pretty.
In fact, they have a deal right now. Do you have the price on and this is the Glock special that they're offering. This is tarriverarms.com. Listen to this amazing price. And most of these you're saving, $100 or a couple $100. Tarriverarms.com.
Let's see. Hold on. It's here it is. It's the pistol range package. Yeah, it's the Glock 19 9mm pistol range package. This comes not only with the Glock 19X, it also has an aluminum lockable hard case, an on-point holster. That's an outside waistband holster, and free shipping. That all totals more than $723. You're getting it for $649. You're saving about $75
right off
at Tar River Arms.
TarRiverArms.com, veteran-owned and veteran-run. And remember, when they have to ship to your local community for the FFL where you pick it up, free shipping, no transfer fees. They take care of all of that. Just go to TarRiverArms.com.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
Are you tired of the bar scene? Tired of trying to meet people that maybe you just don't know? I'll tell you what, I'm a classic example of online dating. I met my beautiful wife online on a dating platform, and you can too. Check out wethepeople.dating. There's a better way for all of you single guys and you ladies out there. You know what? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner ought to be your #1 goal, just like the Constitution. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, if you're looking for someone, you don't have any time, you've got a computer, you've got an internet, you can start browsing wethepeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner shouldn't be a mantra. It should be a goal. For the love of people and people of love. Listen to Matt Locke. Check out wethepeople.dating.
We've arrived. What do you mean? We've hit the big time. What are you talking about? I didn't tell you. We're live on MoJo 50 now. Oh, that. I could have sworn they were just pulling a fast one on us. Either that or someone at the top has had a mild stroke. Regardless, we now have to make a promo. Okay, well, that seems simple enough. How long does this have to be? I was told that we need to take about 60 seconds or so and tell everyone about ourselves. All right. I was born in a blizzard in the bleak hours of the morning in November. No, I don't think we need to go back quite that
that far.
All right, then. I'm Steven.
And I'm Dylan, and we're hosts of the Defenders of American Exceptionalism,
or DOAE show for short.
And we are live Wednesdays and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
We go through the politics of today and how it affects the culture and vice versa. And we try to bring it back to the Constitution and the principles above privilege.
You know, I feel like there should be a shirt made with that on it.
Yeah, we already have that.
Oh, so don't forget to check us out. Defenders of American Exceptionalism live Wednesdays and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
Was I muted during the break?
Who knows?
I know you weren't when you
when I came back.
It's a good thing Ron has your back.
And I don't know if he did or not. Well, that could be exciting. I'm not sure what I said during the break. Anyway, we are back.
You had to have been muted.
Okay.
That's what they all say.
Thanks for the support,
yeah.
Ron, even if it's not true.
We're pretty sure that you were turned off.
But we don't want you to be muted, and that's the reason we take your communiques regularly on this broadcast. Your Daily Mojo. Get those communiques in via social media. Again, we're focusing on MeWe. This is where we're all migrating to. But in the meantime, we'll use the other ones to inform people of MeWe. So post stuff on Facebook and Twitter.com as well.
DMXDM, there's an easier solution to anchor babies. Inform the mothers that upon birth, their baby will be a citizen, but they will not. They can sign away rights and be deported with child. I'm sure we can find plenty of parents willing to adopt. That's a good point.
Yeah, that, you know what, you would at least be able to determine true intent and stuff. Listen, you'll never be allowed in this country. You'll never be eligible for citizenship yourself, just your child.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's the way it should be, but it's not.
Because they would have you believe, they being the leftists, the do-gooders out there, that it is completely altruistic. Right? I'm doing this for my child.
Yeah, no.
Which, even if you're doing for your own child, it's not altruistic because you have an emotional connection.
Yes.
But beyond that, they're also open for their own citizenship. They're imagining the good life. They're not saying, I'm willing to suffer in this crap hole country where they come by daily and make me part of a Brett Kavanaugh rape train.
Right.
I'm just attacked regularly, but at least I know my child is living in Colorado, doing well, flourishing as an American citizen. That's not what you're imagining. You're imagining you flourishing with your child in Colorado.
Yes. Remember, be good to your kids. They're the ones that's going to pick out your nursing home when you're old. Gail got the mojo. Happy birthday to Insider Denny and Vika Fitzfrancis, two of my favorite jackholes.
Denny!
It's their birthdays today. They're 21. They're finally old enough to drink. Good for you both.
Vika, Denny, congratulations and happy birthday.
And didn't Vika used to be Vika the Wonder Slug, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it varies. Of course, it changes. It evolves. Congratulations, and born on Halloween. That's kind of fun.
Yes.
You know, some cool, fun stuff. It's sad, though, that you died on the same day as Siegfried Poe and Houdini.
He's not dead. Siegfried is not dead.
Poe is Edgar Allan Poe is.
But he did not die on Halloween.
Okay, just Siegfried died on Halloween. And Houdini
not die. Houdini,
did Houdini die on Halloween? Houdini, did he die on Halloween?
Houdini did, yes.
But did Hootie?
No,
Hootie and the bloatfish.
Hootie's not dead.
How about the bloatfish?
They could be dead.
The bloated fish?
They might be dead.
Okay.
Siegfried is not dead.
I know, this is all very
Roy,
sketchy, Brad.
He was bitten by a tiger. He's fine. Well,
and what kind of tiger?
It was a white figures. A white tiger bit a German.
Okay.
See, Stinky tweeted, would allowing prisoners to illegally vote and getting Al Franken elected be considered voter fraud?
What?
Would allowing prisoners to illegally vote and getting Al Franken elected be considered voter fraud?
No. The couple of thousand ballots they found during his election, his first in the trunk of a car, the absentee ones, where it's like, how many votes is Al going to lose by? How many?
32.
32?
Oh, look at this.
I found 35 in the trunk of this car.
Amazing.
It's just so weird that it's so close, but
Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Hazel BR549, Chicago's dead voters are the only ones that can get to the polls without fear of getting shot. That's
well, the nice thing is you get to vote either way.
Yes. And over on Facebook, Streisand is a racist. Otherwise, she would move to Mexico. That's a good point, Karen. Karen Hoffman said
you're
that.
right.
Yeah.
They all say Canada.
Yeah, they say Canada. Yeah. No one says I'm moving to Mexico.
Or occasionally, like the Johnny Depp, they'll say, I'm moving to France because they're so liberal over there. But France is still more white than not.
Uh-huh.
How come it's always white? Holy moly. I cannot believe we've missed that over these years. Wow.
Yeah. What's wrong with going to Mexico, Babs?
Damn it. Hey, if you're interested in advertising this platform, go to MoJo50.com. It's MoJo50.com. Contact us. While you're there, sign up for our prize pack that we're going to be giving away on Black Friday. It includes multiple good items, including a handgun.
Not great items, just good items.
Great items, I guess. Some of them are great. Some are good. Minuteman watch. We've got the yellow jacket, battery backup, and stun gun cell phone case.
Does not make biscuits, however. It does not make it. Just charges your cell phone and doubles as a taser. It does.
There's
not
likely
make
going to be some
biscuits.
MoJo 50 wild rice. Sorry, MoJoWildRice.com. A kind of a pack of that, a sampler pack. Also some supplements from TheRichSolution.com. All kinds of good stuff. It's going to probably be close to $3,000 when we're all done with this. Well, that's
Could
some other
win
thing.
$1 million.
All you have to do is register at MoJo50.com. It's MoJo50.com. And that is getting us ready for our big Black Friday event where you can get free commercials. And all you have to do is call us up on Black Friday. If you want to register ahead of time, especially if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex because you want to come in that day, you can come in the house. We're going to have kind of a little open house.
Yep.
Just let us know so we know how many people to plan for that are actually coming in.
Yes, because we're baking a cake and we need to know how big to make it.
We're actually baking MoJo50,
And when you say we, you mean Chef
Chef
Patrick.
Patrick.
Yes, because I'm not baking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat, but I can't bake. It's against my my religion.
Couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, I get a flyer in my mail. A flyer for the election.
Oh, good.
Flyer right here.
Yeah.
And I get these like cardboard flyers all the time during election season. I'll bet I get a dozen or so of them.
Yep.
I am not as familiar with local politics, like local mayors and town councilors, as I probably should be.
Right.
I am just traveling so much, and I don't have so much time. But my wife, being an anchor, in the town we live in,
right,
she knows every one of these races.
Should probably clarify that a television anchor, not like an anchor wife.
Right. Yes, exactly. She's intimately knowledgeable about all of these races. So I go to the mailbox and I take the flyer out, and something about the flyer, this one flyer, just caught my attention. It wasn't particularly well done. It was very similar to all the others.
Right.
But the guy on it and what was written, very simple bullet points, like he wants to balance the budget. He's running for mayor.
Right.
And some other stuff. And see if I have some of here.
And those sound like very good things to be for.
Here it is. Balance the budget.
Good.
Top to bottom review of city finances.
Good.
Tax dollars spent wisely, not wasted.
Good.
And reduce the red tape that holds our businesses back.
Excellent. All fabulous things to be for.
And I noticed there was nothing else.
That's kind of
number one, no details on how you'll do any of those things.
Of course.
Nothing about his past.
Yeah.
Doesn't say if you're a Democrat or Republican.
We like to look forward.
So it's just something about it was like my spidey sense was just like something's not right. So I say to my wife, I go,
wife,
hey, you know this guy? She's like, oh yeah, he's running for mayor. What do you know about him? So she fills me in a little bit. And I was like, it's okay, something sketchy. Oh, before I asked her, I go on and look for his face or for his website.
Right.
It doesn't say much about his past. He served on town council. He supports biking. Look, there's a lot of pictures.
That's good.
Yeah, I went to his
That's
Facebook
good.
page.
Healthy.
Lots of pictures with him and his family.
So he's for family. Good. He's a family guy.
Like just pictures at home.
Likes to exercise.
Him standing in front of his campaign sign.
Nice.
Him biking, full bike garb. And I'm like, it's like this is being crafted and there's no meat to it. Nothing.
And interestingly enough, even the flyer, the colors, don't tell you.
Red, white, and blue. And this says even, by the way, this flyer, Bentonville doesn't need another politician trying to balance our local budget. He's not a politician. See, he gets it. And then there was one, because he's had many flyers too. One of them mentioned something about DC involved in balancing our local budget, stuff like that.
Keep them out of our local economy.
Right. So again, can't find anything about him. So I asked my wife, and she goes, yeah, he's, and she gave me a little of the background story, which I'll tell you in a moment. And I was like, oh, it's kind of weird. So then friend comes to me and says, hey, you know that guy running? I was like, yeah, I was wondering about this guy.
So his campaign is working, is what you're saying.
Right. They said, have you noticed who's paying for those flyers? And I see the little thing down here in the corner.
You need glasses to read it.
That says pretty much, paid for by Republican Senate Leadership Committee, Inc., not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. So it's a PAC.
Okay.
Paid for by Republican State Leadership Committee. And I was like, oh. So the Republicans in the state of Arkansas are paying for this. No, the Republican State Leadership Committee is not the state of Arkansas, or if you're in Pennsylvania, or Florida. It is a national group based in D.C. Who is sending flyers out saying D.C. doesn't need to be balancing the budget for Bentonville.
Interesting.
Yet they're a D.C. group involved in not just a state election, but a mayoral election in a small town in northwest Arkansas. So then, okay, you see, there's some things here, right?
Yep.
Upon further investigation, it turns out that they've never done this before. They're always at a very high national, state level, people going to D.C.
Right.
Why would they concern themselves with Bentonville, Arkansas, the mayoral race of a small town of a few thousand people? Any guesses?
It's always money.
You're on the right track.
Always money. So this has something to do with Walmart?
Oh!
Yeah, there's the money. Follow the trail.
The boy be backed by Walmart.
There you go. There you go. Is he a Republican?
Yeah. Now, part of the reason they didn't lead with Republican, and I will give him his due here, is that it is a non-partisan race, that they're not putting the party on for mayor. It's just this person's running type of thing. But it doesn't matter. They all have their ties and whatever. And by the way, all these pictures of biking and all that, I didn't know this, but the Walmarts, the ones that are there, like I think Jim Walmart and the son, whatever, are huge advocates of biking.
The Waltons are?
The Waltons, excuse me, the Walmarts. The Waltons, yeah.
Bob and Jim
Walmart. The huge backers of biking in the community. Now, I'll say this. I met Jim Walton. Seems like a good guy. They give a boatload of money to the local community. They seem like good people. They're more conservative than not.
Right.
I have some problems with some of the things they've done recently to be a little PC and whatever, but I get it. I get the whole thing. And I'm not saying they funneled money to the Republican State Leadership Committee. I'm not. I don't have any knowledge of that. But he's clearly backed by them. Even if it's just behind the scenes, handshake, wink and a nod type thing. But the real problem is this Republican State Leadership Committee. That they are marketing this thing as, let's support local. And they are a PAC that is not local.
Right.
Now.
It's shady. It's shady at best, yes.
The big thing they keep leading on is balance the budget. This guy that they're backing, he's going to balance the budget.
Sure he is.
And, he was on council when they balanced the budget. He's going to make sure, Brad, that they balance the budget, because no more of these unbalanced budgets, folks. It is a mandate that they have to balance their budget. The federal government is the only one that cannot balance their budget. Every state, it's mandated they balance their budget. Local communities must balance their budgets. Bentonville has had a balanced budget because it's mandated. It's not been a question. This is not an issue. They have created an issue where there is no issue. Brad.
But it sounds good. It's really good marketing.
There is no question that the city of Bentonville, that is flush with cash, or has been, has any question in their finances. There's not been, some missing money. No. Some improperly spent. No, nothing significant. What about you balancing the budget? Yeah, we balance because we have to. And we're going to spend those tax dollars wisely. Not been a question that they haven't. Reduce the red tape that holds businesses back. There's been no question. Nobody's onerously. You go down the road a little bit to Fayetteville, which is run by the progressives. These things are all an issue. Not the balanced budget because they got to balance theirs as well. But red tape and anti-business, sure. But this is what's going on.
He also supports safe crosswalks at every intersection.
And puppies and snow cones.
Oh, absolutely. And he's vehemently opposed to puppy abortion.
Now, I know a lady who is also running for mayor. And I'm not going to say her name either. And she has a press conference today where she is going to lay out what is going on with this Republican State Leadership Committee. She has just released a little bit of information in local media, and they wrote it up. Arkansas Times has it. And they talk, the guy who wrote the article has reported on in the past this Republican State Leadership Committee. And I just got this sent to me. It just got released late last night or yesterday. And then her press conference, I think, is this morning at like 11 a.m. And he writes, I've written before about the D.C.-based Republican State Leadership Committee, which is spending more than $1 million to elect a fellow Republican to nominally partisan a seat to the Arkansas Supreme Court over another justice. I learned this week that the organization's interest extends down to the mayor of Bentonville, a nonpartisan office.
Aren't they all supposed to be?
Right, but even in name, they don't campaign with Democrat, Republican. So far, I think it's fair to call it dark money. As of 2 p.m. today, there's no record on file of Arkansas money received or spent by that committee on the race for mayor, but it's credited on multiple mailings supporting this one guy in a five-way race for the mayor of Bentonville. Coincidentally, this guy they're supporting is being helped in his campaign by a political consultant who was once a key operative in the Koch brothers' finance political machine. Now, I've supported the ideas and values of the Koch brothers primarily. And I don't like lobbyists, but as long as you can legally do this stuff and you're not violating the law, you got to fight your battles as well. So I get that. And I'm not calling them up for their ideas. What I'm saying, and even holding the right accountable for this shady ass politicking.
They all do it. They all do it. Left, right, it's all, and that's the thing with politics, and they're playing again to the uninformed voters.
According to the, you know who else involved in this? The U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is a fairly progressive right-wing organization. I know that sounds really weird. It's right-wing. It's the equivalent of the progressive Republicans. It's fine that you're in it for business. You're the Chamber of Commerce. The problem is they support progressive ideas when it's beneficial to them. See, I don't support progressive ideas at all. They support them when it benefits them. And there's the difference. And there's the line in the sand. It's not about me personally. I mean, I have my wants, desires, needs, freedoms that I got to protect. But I recognize unless I protect all people's freedoms, that the entire thing goes away. That is why we must all do difficult things, stand with people, and support their ability and right to be wrong.
Even when
because that's the greater good, even when it hurts. And that's what the U.S. Chamber of Commerce does not do. They support control as long as it benefits them. I do not. For example, they have supported comprehensive immigration reform, amnesty. This has been one of my big issues with them. They support amnesty because they want to let off the hook companies who have hired illegals all these years. And they want more cheap labor coming in. Well, guys, there's a way to get cheap labor. and still enforce our legal immigration system. I've even supported reforming legal immigration in America. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But giving people amnesty who broke the law is wrong, period. And there is no pathway you can give them that puts them at the end of the line and allows them to stay in America, because that was the big push for a while, the talking points. No, I don't want amnesty. They'll pay a fine. They'll learn to speak English. They get in the back of the line because that meets all the objections they would have. No, because the back of the line, if it's in America, is not the back of the line. The back of the line is in Bulgaria, behind the Bulgarians that are legally trying to immigrate here, legally, and have been denied because there's a waiting list. The back of the line, are you from Mexico? Is in Mexico, behind the Mexicans who are legally immigrating here, that I welcome here. So, Chamber of Commerce, Koch brothers, Waltons, Republican State Leadership Committee, if you are delusional and somehow believe that all people that primarily vote Republican on the right or would support some of the ideas or candidates that you support are going to tolerate this nonsense, you are sorely mistaken. You could have GoDaddy shut us down. You can deny us. You could say and do what you want, but you are not going to change how I vote, and you're certainly not going to change how I think. Because whether I'm on this platform or another, or it ceases to exist, or like Howard O'Rourke, who is out there working in a quarry rather than being an architect in the Fountainhead, I'm still going to maintain what I believe and who I am. Howard O'Rourke, the Fountainhead, would have rather worked a manual labor job than take the easy way out and conform to what somebody else expected him to be.
Right.
And that's the lesson, or one of the lessons, in the Fountainhead and also Atlas Shrugged. I'm not going to tolerate this nonsense, Koch brothers or other. If you guys believe in this stuff and you believe in capitalism, then stop practicing cronyism, because your lobbying efforts at some point have turned to cronyism. I get defending yourself, defending your business, and defending capitalism. But when you start trying to manipulate your competitors out of business, that's not free markets. That's control, and that's progressivism. And I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Good.
So I'll have more on this. I'll see what becomes of this today with this press conference.
It'll be interesting.
This is one small town.
One small town with big money.
Big money.
Always follow the money trail.
I told a story where I went to this little event at the beautiful museum that the one Walton daughter built in Bentonville called the Crystal Bridges. It's this little wine and art thingy. I don't know, 40 people there, something like that.
Right.
And I'm sitting at the table with a guy who's wealthy that I know, and his guest, Jim Walton.
Right.
And Jim Walton's kid. So the four couples that were there, they were all uber wealthy people, and me and my wife. And behind me was Alice Walton, another billionaire. And I'm like, there's at least 3, 4, 5, 6 billionaires here, maybe 8, because you got husband and wife, so you don't. And me. Okay. Okay, great. So yeah, there's a couple of monies there. All right, let's wrap this thing up. You ready? Here we go.
What do you mean it's last call?
Oh, righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of the morning play. Damn it. I'm so good.
I'm sorry.
No, that was me. Edit that out, Ron.
Yeah. No one will ever hear that. No one will ever hear that.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out. We learned today. We learned that Ron is not fat. Nay, he's just big memed.
Big meme. Yes. Yes.
We learned that Houdini, Poe, and Siegfried all died on Halloween. Who knew?
Siegfried did not die. He's not dead, and Poe didn't die. Just Houdini.
Poe didn't die on Halloween?
No.
He's not dead then?
No, he's dead. And
why are you
Siegfried's
confusing us?
not.
They all died on Halloween. We learned if you're worried more about armed Americans than a caravan of foreign invaders, you're doing it wrong.
Big time.
So you know. We learned the only reason that a ghost would have sex with a mortal is for the green card. And it's time we started calling out the chain migration from the underworld and also anchor spirits.
Yes. Yes. Reform now. What do we want? Reform.
When do we want it?
Now.
A week ago.
Yes.
Brad Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that Texans near the border better be on the lookout for an armed mob from north of the border. It'll be the United States citizens coming
Shouldn't
down
it be
that
for the
way.
south of the border?
Yeah, but no, they're just people who want a better way of life. Why do you hate immigrants so badly? I learned that life in prison flies by when you're an FBI informant. Just goes shoo.
Life does.
It certainly does. Lasts about 5 years before they find you dead.
No.
I learned
Whitey, we're transferring you. Oh, good. That's well. Hey, honey,
didn't work out.
Dear so-and-so, I leave all of my...
Yeah. Yeah. I learned that ectoplasm is the second stickiest substance known to man. Just ask Amethyst Realm. I learned that the United States Postal Service is in their name, especially when it comes to delivering impotent bombs late. Count on it. I learned that no one cried harder than Brett Kavanaugh at his decision to turn down the $600,000 GoFundMe
Look at this.
account.
Fox News has kids trick-or-treating, and a couple of
Yes.
kids are dressed as Asian kids.
That's cultural appropriation. Absolutely, and that there's a deer right now somewhere pissed off that they're...
Two girls dressed up as Asian kids. You see them, Brad?
Yep. I think weren't they Asian kids, though? I didn't think they were.
Oh, well, that
believe they
explains
were.
it. Okay.
And finally, I learned that Doc Thompson gets better junk mail than anybody else in the world.
Can't believe it's one flyer I questioned. It opened up this whole can of worms. Hey, what, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Over on MeWe, John Kloppenberg III learned Timmy Turner died, is voting Democrat, and shagging loony British slags. My day just went to S. Mo Lynch said, if you want to scare a feminist, show her your huge Glock. See what he did there?
I see what you did there.
It's a huge Glock.
Speaking of Glocks.
It's right there. Yes, that's representative of the gun that you could possibly win.
I know I'm not aiming it at Brad.
No,
it's angled. It just
he wants to, but he's not.
I have to say that because the angles make it look like people are aiming that gun at Brad.
I used to get that all the time. That's because I was aiming at you, but
right,
you know,
exactly.
it's totally
So
different.
even when it's like that, it may look like Brad.
It
whatever.
does, but it's not.
Because see, I'm up in front of him by about a foot.
Yeah, it's,
anyway.
It's called upstaging. Over on Facebook, Adam Davis learned how long before the Ghost Lady is on Springer. Hope Jerry
Is his
Springer.
show still around?
Of course it is.
Oh my gosh, I have not watched broadcast TV for
You know how
any
much-
length of
you know
time
how
in
much
years.
money he makes a year?
Oh, he is uber wealthy.
We're doing
And
it wrong.
It's bittersweet for him because he was a mayor of Cincinnati,
right,
and wanted to be a senator and governor and whatever. And try as he might to shed that Jerry Springer television image.
Nope,
he can't.
Nope,
and he wants to.
You've got
so it's like, Jerry, you're not respected, but you're worth literally tens of millions of dollars.
You got to dance with the one that brung you.
Guess what? I would take money over respect.
Me too. Libertarian over on Twitter, we all know which party the dead vote for. If a vast majority of fraudulent votes broke for Republicans, Democrats would push voter ID faster than the speed of light.
Yep.
That is so true. So very true. Mojo Jedi learned, so marrying a ghost is like getting married to a bag of hot air. I see no difference.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, don't tell your wife that. Let's see. And Suspicious Backyard Package learned, when you talk about not painting all blacks with a broad brush, then make a joke that all blacks look alike, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong unless you're a progressive and you're not. You know what? Also doing it wrong. I did it wrong because I didn't get those new numbers on procrastination, but I'll do it tomorrow.
All right.
What else do we have coming up tomorrow?
Oh, amazing things. Words that will blow you away.
The best words?
The best. Well, we couldn't afford the best. We got some
What
good
does Matt Locke have coming up on the Conservative Cartel immediately following our broadcast?
Trump wants to end anchor babies and black support for Trump. They're both up.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Remember, today's Daily Mojo
very good.
is a Ron
Phillips
production.
Ron Phillips.
Sic Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now, you go home.
Very good. Very good.
I'm going to have to check his ID. I don't think
No, he's Mr. Phillips.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo